Ayy, look, yeah, ayy. I'm in the lab like Dexter, brand new batch he tested. I'm with all the extras, don't try and bitch, I'm pressure. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the New Media Podcast. I'm your host, Ya. We hope you enjoyed the last episode because, as always, today's going to be an even better episode. Of course, I got the whole crew with me. Everybody's in the house today. And I do got to say one thing, man. I feel like it's been a while since we've been on here. You know, it's been about like a week and a half, week and some change since we last talked about championship weekend. And, you know, now it's time to finally come back, and Super Bowl weekend is right around the corner. And we got a very, very special episode for you guys today. So the way we're doing things today is we have a group of guests, some familiar faces, some new faces. You guys will be hearing about them and their respective franchises and what they got to say a lot of things. And then, of course, at the end, they'll give their Super Bowl predictions. But for our Super Bowl predictions, we'll go ahead and talk about that in the next episode. But, of course, before we jump into that, temperature check, how's everybody doing?
Man, it's been a minute.
And since we talked about some football, man, I was watching some flag football last week. I was just like, damn.
Man, I was not watching that Pro Bowl.
Comparison to the game, you know.
I heard it was pretty good though. I heard the Pro Bowl game was not that bad.
I don't know.
I mean, I think the NFL. I think the NFL is going to
just,
continue with the Pro Bowl the way it is right now, the flag football.
Oh yeah,
I heard it wasn't bad. Like, it was not bad.
It helps the players so nobody gets hurt.
I mean, to be honest, like, what can they do? Like, they can, like, it's not like the NBA All-Star game where, like, of course, there's, like, incentive. Like, the quarters can be close. Like, you know, when it's crunch time, guys are going to start playing serious. Nobody's ever going to play serious Pro Bowl. It's just never going to happen. I think they should just scrap it. Like, I think they should just scrap the whole event, bro. Like, I'm just not a fan of none. It's just not real. It's not serious. Tyler, why is Hundley in the Pro Bowl? What?
Like, yo, like,
why is Derek Carr there?
Josh Allen was golfing in the weekend, man. He was like, you know what? I'm not going to be playing in the Pro Bowl. And then he came to golf and he was like, yeah, I'm taking my time off. So players like that
nobody takes it serious, man.
Nobody takes it serious. So
yeah, I'm not going to lie. The quality of the Pro Bowl game definitely has gone down these last 5-10 years, and it's not as interesting as it used to be. But, hey, man, you know, it's been a while. I'm glad that we're back, you know, finally ready to talk about some football. I'm looking forward to when we're talking about some basketball real soon. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. We have our very first special guest that'll be arriving very, very shortly, roughly in about the next couple of seconds. Very, very familiar face. We heard about this guy when the Vikings were 7-2, going into Buffalo, ready to play Josh Allen and the Bills, trying to determine where we were as a team at that point.
When you guys are gassing each other up, you know, when you guys were saying, yo, we're so good, blah, blah, blah. You guys were adamant about how good your team was. And then all of a sudden it's, oh, there he is. Perfect. Right on time, man.
Right on time. If there's anybody that can talk about
I can't. Like, when he gets, he's gonna get a grilling from me, man. I can't wait.
No. I'm here for him.
I'm waiting for this, man. There you go. Yeah. Show the background, man.
There's the man.
Defensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings right here.
Hold on. I'm putting every blocker possible. I know Abdul Karim is looking for me.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm waiting for you, man.
What's up, my people?
What's up, man? How are you doing?
What's up?
Alhamdulillah.
So
glad to have you back, man. You know, back in the same spot we left you at, in the Vikings locker room. Unfortunately, we all know how our season ended, and we're here. The reason why you're here today is to talk about it all. You know, so we'll go ahead and talk about. You'll go ahead and give a recap of the season. We just want to hear your thoughts about how it went, the good, the bad, the ugly. We'll go ahead and give you the floor.
Yeah, that's what exactly we'll do. I will first start with, you know, first of all, the season, we had a better season than the Packers, so it's always a plus. Won the division, so it's a plus, you know? So there's good things about the season, and obviously there's some down things, and then it ended up pretty ugly for us. So some of the things that I really enjoyed about the season is obviously we went 13-4. If this time last year, if you would have asked any Viking person, they would have never said, "Oh, we'll have that good of a record. We'll finish in the top 3. We'll have the offensive player of the year in JJ that just got announced within the last couple of hours." But yeah, we won the division. We saw Kirk Cousins put a lot of people on notice. 11 game winning or 11 one-score wins that he did. 8 of them he came from behind. Those are the good things. Obviously, JJ led all receivers in receptions and yards. We acquired the Lions tight end, TJ Hawkinson. And then, you had the defense that was, that I will mention as the bad side of the ugly side of the season, but at least our two DNs, they both had over 10 sacks, which when you think of your two defensive ends having that high of sack numbers, you automatically assume that you were a team that put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. In reality, it was completely opposite. We were a defense that was bend, don't break, but unfortunately, it hurt us. We gave up so many yards, and it was our Achilles heel the whole year. Things that, that's the good things. Now, a little bit about the bad things. We were just very slow on defense, right? The defense was by far the worst defense in the league. Just terrible. We switched. Traditionally, we've always been a 4-3 defense. That means you have four defensive linemen and then linebackers that they are supposed to stay unblocked and make reads and tackles and all of that. Unfortunately, we went the other way where we had three defensive linemen and four linebackers, and our linebackers were just not the greatest. We saw Kendricks just all of a sudden lose any athleticism he had. He had a hard time. He was known for being a great cover linebacker. That's how you stay on the field nowadays. But unfortunately, athleticism looked like it lost. 1 second, let me stop this for a second.
Man, listen, Rag, you have to get to your point because I'm sitting here waiting. I'm sitting here waiting. I'm sitting here waiting. I'm
You
letting
got
you
two guys
talk.
ready to. They're licking their chops,
Giving on
man.
your head. Y'all Giants running down on y'all. Daniel Jones going for 400 yards.
I'm getting
Let's
to
get
it,
into
baby.
that.
Hey, let my man's build up to it, man. He's
I'm gonna
working.
build to it. I'm gonna build to it. We had aging veterans, right? Obviously, on the defensive side, Kendrick I just mentioned, and then on the offensive side, until we got what's his name, TJ Hawkinson, it was really a one-man show on offense, right? Cook didn't have the greatest season to start. Really take away 3-4 big runs that he had the whole year. It seemed like he just didn't have the motive to he wasn't the Cook that we're used to. It was 2-3 yards here and those were good runs for him, unfortunately. And then obviously our what kind of killed us to our offensive line. We had at one point our left tackle was hurt, our right tackle tore his Achilles. He was out for the year. Our guards just were not up to par at all. And then our center, he didn't even get hurt on the football field. He got hurt in a car accident, and he was out for multiple weeks. So that all that hurt. So I'm gonna give the Packer fan who didn't make a playoff. You get to speak to me last. The Seahawk dude that got destroyed in the first round. I'll let you go first. Go ahead and attack us.
I just have a couple questions for y'all, especially throughout the season, 13-4. A lot of the games, you can say majority of the games, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point games, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Going into the playoffs, you play the Giants. Ended, I think you guys won by 61-yard field goal or 63.
It's like a 61.
61 yard in the regular season, yeah.
Did you feel very confident going into that playoff game?
I did. I honestly did. For
me, I did not believe you guys at all. Going into that playoff game, I said, nah, they're gonna get torn apart on that defense, and what Daniel Jones did happen. And I feel like, yes, what you guys missing 3-0 line or 3-0 line getting hurt made that move over. Kirk Cousins had a phenomenal game. What was it, 339 yards, 2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
He didn't play too bad. It was 31 for 39?
Yeah.
Yes. There was a guy disappearing on offense that only had 47 yards though. I feel like we got to ISO him out, call him out.
No, Jay. See, here's the thing, right? Okay, so
and we're gonna talk about the defense as well.
Defense had its issues, but if you watch the game, right, some of you guys are just you have to watch the game from a perspective of no agenda.
No, I watched the game with no agenda. I don't hate the Vikings. I'm not a Packers fan. No, I was watching the game with an agenda, with a bias. I came into the game with a bias and everything.
That's different.
And I got my bias confirmed when I was watching that game.
But every week though, I said it in and out. It's your defense is bend or break. Your defense is bend or break, and you guys,
So
held it so well during the season, but when the big moment came, it was gonna break, and it broke.
So here are my thoughts on the post game. First of all, Daniel Jones made himself a lot of money, right? In the playoffs, you win with defense, right? Things are pretty much everyone. First of all, it's hard to beat an NFL team multiple times. If you look at like not just this season, but any season in the past, and if you look at the overall record, most of the time, if a team is playing you again the second time, somehow, some way, it ends up nothing like the first matchup. And don't get us wrong, NFC North, NFC South this year was really good. They had 3 teams remaining in the second week of the playoffs. They beat Tampa Bay lost to
There's some dogs.
Destroyed by the Cowboys.
There's some dogs. There's some dogs. At the same time,
it's not like we lost to a garbage.
All I heard all year was 13-4. We're top 3 teams in the NFL. We're this and that. High-powered offense.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys got to hold that up. And against a team that was 9-7 or 9-8 going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
9-8 with Walmart receivers. We're talking about guys like Isaiah Hodgins, undrafted receiver. I can't even name their second receiver. 3rd string tight ends.
Their offense didn't beat us. Our defense beat us. We couldn't get off the field on critical down. If you look at the third down percentage, and also not just the third down, if you look at first down, the average yards that they gain is just ridiculous. So, and anytime they got to third down, it felt like it was 3rd and like 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 4 at like that. And you're not going to be able to consistently in the NFL stop, even if you do have a good defense. And we just had a terrible defense. But on the other side of the offense did show up. Jefferson, although the numbers are not what we have been accustomed to see from him, if you look at the game, he dominated that game by giving the ability for Hawkinson to get single coverage and giving the ability for the offensive line and the running backs space to operate. And
I don't believe that. No, that doesn't apply to wide receivers coming to the playoffs, right?
Every offensive player of the year.
Elite wide receivers are gonna get that coverage regardless of what happens. Guys are gonna get that coverage. I'm not gonna sit here and nobody's gonna sit here and be like, well, Justin Jefferson opened up the game for TJ Hawkinson. Justin Jefferson's the guy that's supposed to be winning you games. He's the reason why you guys were winning those 1-score games. It's not a matter of he's opening up the game for everybody else. That's what matters. And in crucial games like this, he has to get open. It does not matter about.
But it's not about him not getting.
It
open.
Is though.
Yeah.
It is. He has to make plays. He has to make plays in these coverages. It doesn't matter. Every elite wide receiver is gonna get bracketed like that.
So,
the guy had a Dory Jackson on him. I don't care. He has to make plays. He has to make plays. I'm not gonna sit here and excuse JJ. I like how I have no agenda against JJ. I think the guy's a top 2 wide receiver.
I don't believe that.
JJ's a top 2 wide receiver in this league. But if Devontae Adams is in that playoff game, Devontae's leaving with 100 yards. I can guarantee you that with that coverage.
No. But the thing is, if Devontae walks out with 40 yards, everybody's gonna criticize.
Yes, everybody's gonna be like, how's Devontae Adams leaving a game with 40 yards? Everybody's gonna say that. If Tyreek Hill leaves a game with 40 yards, everybody's gonna say that. JJ should not be excused for leaving a game with 40 yards, man.
They're in different. First of all, they're completely different situations. If you look at the game, right, there is not a single play that he's not either double covered or triple covered. The whole defense.
You see plays where Jamar Chase on a fourth down where he's making a huge play.
Okay.
No,
that's
that's
an
outlier.
That's
not an outlier. That's not an outlier. That's just a product. That's just a product of Jamar Chase.
Let me land real quick. So you want to go ahead and pull out one play? That's fine.
No, it's not a matter of one play.
Let's go to Buffalo and Cincinnati when Jamar Chase scored a touchdown. How wide open was he before he scored?
He was wide open.
How does that happen? How does that happen though?
They have teams across him.
Okay, then.
No, but it's not.
That's exactly the point.
It's not outliers. It's the fact that in these type of situations, JJ's skill set does not allow him to dominate against double coverage, and that's what I truly believe. Yes, I truly believe that. In situations like this, JJ is not assertive. What happened the last 3 weeks with JJ against? We've seen that against the Packers, right? The last game against the Bears,
I knew you were gonna go here. I knew
the last game.
But be honest though.
Listen. The last game, the Bears. Last game against Bears, I'll be like, okay, whatever. It's last game of season. Now against the Giants, every week is it going to be, he's getting double coverage. How long is that going to take? If he's so easy to take out the game like that, what does that say about JJ? You know what I mean?
Listen. No. I knew you were gonna go there. I knew you were gonna bring up the Packers matchup. Yeah.
Might as well. Yeah, that was my question. What happened in the Packers matchup?
Congratulations, you got to enjoy 1 week, the whole season. MashaAllah.
I mean, you joined me right after the playoffs started.
Listen,
So.
MashaAllah again, right? But if you look at that, even that game, right? As soon as you see Alexander, the corner, line up, he would hit and he would run back immediately, right?
He had JJ pressed off the line, man.
Yeah, and then what would happen as soon as he got off the line? What happened?
JJ was falling down,
guys,
man.
The linebacker and then the safety.
Yeah, no.
Go look at the game. I have my opinion. You have your bias.
No.
But the film will not lie, man.
The film does not lie. The numbers and the film never lie. Both of those are not lying in the situation. Yeah. In coverage, he had him blocked down. He put him out the game. He put JJ out the game. There's not one play.
I disagree with that. I feel like Jair had a lot of freedom that game to do whatever he wanted. Knowing
he had freedom to lock down JJ. That's what he had freedom to do. He had freedom to lock down JJ.
Be very, very aggressive on the line, knowing that if he makes a mistake, there's a guy right behind him.
It was not a repeat of week 1 matchup where JJ was flying all across the field and nobody put a body on him, where he was confused how he's wide open. This time around, Jair was all over him and he did not let him breathe. That's a simple case. That's what happened.
We're going off the agenda that I came to prepare for, because if I knew we were gonna go to that one-on-one matchup, I would have looked at the routes from that game, and I would have looked at the routes,
and you would have seen JJ
Jefferson had against the Giants, and then I would have looked at the number of people that were near him. There's advanced stats that you can see. Every place that JJ is on the field, the nearest person and how many yards they're within, right? But put that on the side, right? Now I want to talk about the offseason, what I came here for, right? The offseason, we've already seen some things happen. We got rid of one of our biggest Achilles heel, and our biggest problem we had was the defense, right? We've already got rid of our defensive coordinator. We're bringing in a new defensive coordinator who's historically has run both 3-4 background and 4-3. I ideally would love to see us stay in 4-3, which means our 2 defensive ends are going to stay on the field. And also, we don't have to trade Hunter. I think Hunter should be one of the cornerstones of our defense. Him, and then kind of whoever else kind of sticks around. Right now, it's just him on defense. But, Booth has a chance to be good. And then also Lewis, who's our first-round pick from last year, who got hurt, unfortunately, and he's a promising rookie. But if we go back to that 4-3, I think the defense comes up, and I think obviously the offense will be there. We'll hopefully in the offseason we'll have a second right receiver that or even KJ develops further, and that teams are not able to just triple team, quadruple team, put linebackers and defensive ends and everybody who's wearing a different jersey that plays defense all on Jefferson. So ideally we get a wide receiver, we get maybe another corner. I would love this in the perfect scenario. What I would love when my phone goes off on any Viking update is Dalvin Cook has been traded to Miami for Xavier Howard. That would be the most, everybody wins. Cook goes back home to Miami. We get an elite corner who can take wide receiver one.
Man, Xavier Howard kind of took a step back, though.
He did take a step back, but I don't think he played motivating football. I think he loves our new coordinator. He has a chance to go into a division. Who's the best wide receiver in that division outside of Jefferson?
Probably a Monroe going out of Detroit.
Yeah.
Xavier would lock him down. I think Xavier locks him down. I think Xavier has a chance to be a next year. If he's in the NFC North, he has a chance to be the best corner outside of Alexander. I think Alexander is the best corner in that division. See, I'm not a hater like you.
I mean, to be honest, Alexander's the best corner in the NFL to me, but
that's a bit extreme. But I have a very, very interesting question for you, Abdul.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, you asked me who I wanted as our defensive coordinator. Of course, you just mentioned I told you I wanted Brian Flores, and we were able to sign him. But right now, our secondary is trying to prove themselves. Patrick Peterson, we're not too sure if we're going to be able to bring him back on another 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So do you think with with Brian Flores right now as our defensive coordinator, we go corner with our first round pick.
I honestly think we're going to trade down. I think the from obviously it's all people's opinion. We never know really until training camps, like the first time you kind of see and then into the early season, you get to see like the true value or the true talents of the people that are coming in. But from what we hear and what evaluators have said is that this is a deep corner class. This is a deep defensive group in general. So in scenarios like that, if you look at our defense outside of, honestly, outside of really Hunter, I'm okay with replacing damn near everybody else, even Zendarius Smith. So if that's the case, and then obviously Lewis has to stay. He's a young dude. So if that's the case, get as much lottery tickets as you can, right? And if you trade down from what I think we're 23 or 24, go down as early second and pick up another second, and then try to play that game. Try to get a middle linebacker or outside linebacker that's speed and that can cover. Pick up another defensive end or defensive tackle if there's someone that could put pressure on the quarterback. Because at the end of the day, Foyles' number one thing is he's an aggressive coordinator. He wants to determine the tempo of the game. And how do you do that? By getting to the quarterback. And in order to get to the quarterback, you got to have strong corners that are able to play man coverage and also be able to be physical. And that's why I would love for the Dalvin Cook for Xavier Howard trade. That helps both teams. Miami currently has no running backs that are signed for next year. Yeah, they have a bunch of other guys that they can bring back, but why not bring the most talented back and you give up a corner that is supposedly declining?
I think you make a very, very valid point. We're also known for trading back. We traded back with the Lions last year. We gave him Jameson Williams. So I think the smart move would, either to trade back and try to, double up in the second round or try to hit on one of these young cornerbacks in this upcoming draft. Because of course, with Cameron Dancer, he'll be back. Booth is going to be back, and then the whole other situation on the other side with Patrick Peterson needs to be resolved. But I don't know. I feel like I do agree with you though. I do believe a lot of the veterans on the defensive side of the ball do have to go. It's gonna hurt, losing guys like Harrison Smith, who's been with the franchise forever, and Eric Hendricks has been on the decline, and Zadarius Smith, he was pretty much a rental just to test the waters and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to the direction we're going right now in terms of us hiring Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator, and then you add that with Kevin O'Connell's offense, I think next year is going to be really, really interesting. But we also do have to make some harsh cuts on offense. We don't know what we're going to do with Adam Thielen, and then Dalvin Cook. We have to restructure his deal. I'm not too sure if he's going to be happy about that, knowing the running backs and their lifespan in the league 4 to 6 years. He's not going to want to restructure that deal. So I think it's either we cut him or we end up trading him. But in the end, though, Kirk Cousins. This is the one guy that I've been very, very critical about throughout his entire tenure with us. He's on the final year of his deal, 1 year, $40 million extension we gave him last offseason. With this season coming up, what do you think we should do at the quarterback position?
So I think, I think there are going to be 3 contracts that are extended. Jefferson is a no-brainer. TJ Hawkinson played himself into a monster deal. I think he's probably going to be, if not, he's going to be in that top 3 highest paid tight ends. And then I think you have to extend Kirk Cousins. I have all Vikings. If a Vikings fan tells you that they haven't had their issues with Kirk Cousins, they're lying to their teeth. So, but at the end of the day, this guy this year produced at a level that a lot of the doubters, he made them shut up. He made them quiet, right? So with that saying, I don't know if because we went from a defensive head-minded coach to a offensive head-minded coach. So OKC helped a lot, right? Who's our Kevin O'Connor? He helped a lot, and with one more offseason and one more season, I'm willing to bet on Kirk Cousins on a two-year extension, 3-year extension, whatever it is. However, Kirk Cousins is not getting younger. Kirk Cousins is in the second half of his 30s, right? So you have to be able to figure out what is down the line as far as like the next developed quarterback, right? And I think this day 2 or day 3, depending on what you do on day 1, if you do trade back on day 1 and you pick up an additional either a 3rd round pick or a 2nd round pick, and there's a quarterback there that you are in love with, I think you have to start planning for quarterback of the future with the Vikings.
Okay, I hear you. I mean, I'm not going to be too happy if we have to end up extending,
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins to some sort of, $30 million, $35 million deal, knowing that we gave him 3-year, $90 million, and I think it was all fully guaranteed when we first signed with us when we were coming off an NFC Championship appearance. But I think we've done enough Vikings talk. Let's go ahead and get to the Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles. Who do you got and why?
First of all, I want to thank from the bottom of my heart for the Dirty Eagles for taking care of the Niners. I salute them, but I have Kansas City beating the Eagles. It's going to be a historic Super Bowl. You got 2 African Americans brewing the Black History Month, so alhamdulillah for that. And I have Mahomes getting his 2nd Super Bowl ring. I hopefully it's a high scoring game. If I were to predict score, I would say 35-30, Chiefs winning it.
Why do you think the Chiefs are going to win? It's just off Mahomes, or
I think football comes down to the better quarterback. Of course, football, like no other sports, you definitely need your supporting cast. And by far, Jalen Hurts has a better supporting cast than Mahomes does. But I just feel like the level, even in injured Mahomes, because Jalen Hurts still injured. He hasn't thrown over 150 yards or 150, 175 yards in the 2 postseason that he played. And also, if you go back to the last regular season he played, he didn't reach that mark either. So that shoulder is not 100% for certain. But I believe in Mahomes being able to make big plays more than I'm a believer of Jalen Hurts injured. And as you saw, Mahomes beat Burrow, who I thought it was going to be a Super Bowl of Bengals and Eagles. But Mahomes took out, I think, the best team, and I think the 2nd best team is the Eagles, and I think he'll beat them again.
Interesting.
And then the Super Bowl MVP is going to be Mahomes.
Of course, Mahomes.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Man, if Mahomes somehow, some way comes out with this, 2 Super Bowl wins, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
You gotta consider him the GOAT, man.
He set himself up.
I think GOAT talk is a little too early. I think he needs.
He's on a path.
He's on the path. 100%. If there's anyone who's gonna catch those 6 rings, it's Mahomes. I don't see anybody.
For sure.
I don't see anybody, but I hope we get to witness that.
Well, of course, we'll all be watching. But once again, we appreciate you for joining us, tapping in with us once again. It was nice seeing you and talk about the Vikings. Looking forward to next season, of course, and look forward to hearing from you soon, man. Appreciate your time.
I appreciate y'all. You guys are doing a great job. We'll see you guys. Bring me back so we can talk about Kevin Durant and all that. All right.
Oh yeah.
We got a lot to unpack in the NBA, man.
All right, my boys. Take care.
All right, then, man. Okay. So there goes our very first guest, our very familiar face, and now we have our second guest that should be on the way. Like I said, in a couple of seconds. He's a new face. You guys haven't met this. You haven't met him before. We have Abdi finally has a running mate. I had my running mate come in right now, and
honestly, I would not even consider this guy my running mate.
Where was it? This guy's your running mate, but without further ado, I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Ahmed Abdi, and I'm glad to be on the New Media podcast to discuss my favorite team, just like my man right here, Abdi Karim, the Green Bay Packers. And
we on opposite spectrums, though. We on the opposite sides.
Ahmed, I was just telling Abdi right now that I had my guy in the corner, and I was saying you're his guy, and you're in his corner, and he was like, nah.
Because once we get to Aaron Rodgers, we're not the same. I mean, we're on the same side.
The Karim is more of a Aaron Rodgers fan than a Packers fan. That's the difference between me and him.
Right. The guy's the face of the franchise. I love him, of course.
No, I care what's best for the franchise moving forward. Okay. And hopefully that's gonna be Jordan Love now.
You would think we have Peyton Manning on our bench. The way they
Man,
talk
we
about
got
Jordan
an
Love.
honest Packers fan here, right here.
You would think
like
we have
that.
Peyton Manning on our bench. It's
I got a
crazy.
question though, man.
We don't know what we
why
have.
does it take Aaron Rodgers 4 days in a darkness retreat in the house by himself with no phone, no communication outside, in a dark room to make a decision about coming back to the
You
Packers?
got to think about it. It's a big decision. He's leaving the franchise that he's been with his whole career. You got to think about it. It's deep.
I don't think it's deep. I don't think
It is very deep. He's just
I just don't think it's
just
that.
to leave the franchise you've been with since you started your career. It ain't easy, man. He's got to think about it.
Brady walked away from the Patriots like it was nothing.
I mean,
way more. He bought way more.
I mean, to be honest, like there was nothing left to prove over there.
What does
nothing
Rodgers
left
have
for
to prove for the Packers though?
You got to win another one for us, which I think will happen.
It's been 11 years, man. It's been a long time.
I mean,
A
at
whole
least
lot
he
of
brought
L's.
us one, right? Bro, Brady has ruined your guys' mind, bro. A Super Bowl one is enough, man.
Honest
you guys don't
question,
understand. One is enough.
Yahya and Ahmed.
Yeah.
Mahomes won the Super Bowl. He's passing Aaron Rodgers, right?
Oh, he's already better than right now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He needs some longevity though.
Patrick
already
Mahomes is going to
better.
be in this league for a lot of years. He's going to be playing quarterback up until his 40s. And I feel like he already he already has a better resume than Aaron Rodgers. So
He
for
does.
me, he's already surpassed Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Aaron
That was
Rodgers
never
got 4
really-
MVPs, bro. Let's respect the MVPs.
I mean,
They mean something in this league.
Mahomes
You
is still,
don't hang up
Mahomes is
you
still
don't-
racking them up right now as we
MVPs
speak.
and longevity matters, man. The NFL is about longevity. That's how
Why?
you make. That's how you get into. That's how you get into the Hall of Fame. Longevity matters.
To get back to Hamza's point, Aaron Rodgers is not walking away from 60 million. There's no way on earth he's walking away from 60 million. He's just doing this to create drama,
for him-
confusion, and everything.
But for himself, though, an opportunity to win another championship.
And
Long to find a team to do that with.
I heard, did you guys hear what he said on Pat McAfee? I'm still capable enough. I'm still good enough to play at an MVP level. And
That's genius.
Gronkowski called him out and said, why not compete for a Super Bowl? A lot of people called him out.
The thing is, though, it's about his individual play, though. Like he himself, like who says I'm still able to play at Super Bowl level? That doesn't make any sense. Like logically, you'd be like, I'm still able to play at an MVP or at a superstar level. But anyways, I was gonna kick us off by asking you this question. Recap this season for me.
Oh, the
You're a
Green Bay
Packers
Packers?
fan, yeah. Talk to me
No.
about this season. What happened? What went wrong?
The season didn't go as expected, but for some reason, I felt more proud of this Packer unit than any units in the past for the simple reason that they did not get blown out any game. If you remember the 2019, they got blown out by the 49ers, then 2020 by the Buccaneers.
You say that as if
2021 by the
you guys
Saints.
made the playoffs, though.
No, this is what I'm talking about. The only thing is we lost our offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, who had a good connection with Aaron Rodgers. We lost the number one wide receiver in the league, Devontae Adams, and we had a lot of rookies on the team. So obviously it was going to take time for things to gel. And since Aaron Rodgers didn't show up to the offseason training, I mean, I think the OTA and the training camp, you couldn't build that rapport. And when the team started connecting towards the end of the season, by then it was too late. I mean, we had a chance to get in, and at week 17, all we had to do was win that home game versus the Detroit Lions. But like I always said, Aaron Rodgers just keep coming up shorter and shorter, and the bigger the game gets.
Nah, he dropped that game, but it happens.
Hey, the bigger the game gets, the biggest moments is.
But you celebrated that win just to join us a week later. I don't know why you're talking. This guy literally joined us a week
Making
later.
it to the dance though, like you wasn't even dancing. Like Aaron, like we gave you.
Was you
needed
dancing?
to win.
Was you
All
dancing?
You needed to do was win. That's it.
Was you dancing against the Niners?
And you
joined
couldn't.
us.
Your Hall of Fame quarterback couldn't pull through a Detroit Lions defense.
Stuff happens, man.
Oh, stuff happens.
Yeah,
Him
stuff happens.
overlaunching the ball and throwing 2 interceptions, right? Stuff happens.
But the thumb injury. The guy was injured all season.
See,
He had a
you
thumb
know,
injury.
to do Rodgers. When Rodgers chokes, it always goes to some.
He had a thumb injury. I'm telling you this.
Back injury.
No, it's not a fake injury. He legit had a thumb injury. It's a
Stop.
fact.
Stop.
How does he have
Stop.
the best touchdown to
People-
pick ratio in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, specifically, in
Well,
the NFC
even this
Championship
season
game, he
though,
has
like
more
his
picks?
overall, look at his stats. Even this season, like it's a complete drop off. This is obviously not the same level of play that we're. How can a guy go from literally winning an MVP to this type of play? And he wasn't even like terrible, for being honest.
I
He
was
still
more
just wasn't-
impressed. I was more impressed with Aaron Rodgers this season than the previous season for this reason only. He didn't care about his interception. He was taking more risk. Previous years, he wasn't taking as much risk. If you remember
They're
if
just
you
way more
remember the
efficient
play,
like that.
they were more efficient, and he wasn't passing the ball.
No,
to
but
the
like
new
it
guys.
wasn't
He was
even
just
just
targeting.
it wasn't even just like a matter of like whether he just didn't care. Like he was just I'm talking about even just his overall like ability to throw the football was not the same level of Aaron Rodgers. Like how many times did he oversell balls? Did he underthrow passes? Just a bunch of stuff that didn't seem like it was at his level. So this kind of segues into my question is how do the Packers move on from this point on? Should they get rid of Aaron Rodgers? And what's their next like plan?
I don't think you could get rid of him right now because there's that 60 million salary that he's owed, and you don't
I
want
mean,
to.
if let me ask you this: if Aaron Rodgers requests a trade, like, do you think the Packers would be like, yeah, okay, 100%, let's get this guy out of here?
If they could find a viable suitor, and that's not in the same conference, yes, they would do it. I do want Aaron Rodgers to go to the Raiders to go play with Devontae Adams and the Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, and all of them. See what he could do and start new with Jordan Love. Because I mean, we don't have a big sample size, but from what I saw from Jordan Love, I feel like that kid is special. He's nice. He's more of Aaron Rodgers-esque, not in terms of all the talent, but ability to throw on the run, the arm angles and all that. And just sitting down and watching Aaron Rodgers for 3 years, I mean, that took his IQ to a whole new level. So I really do want to see what Jordan Love is capable of doing. And the dance with
you don't
Aaron
feel
Rodgers,
that's risky though?
no,
Like,
it's
just
not
off
risky.
a quarter of play?
No, because it's not risky. Because at this point, what are we going to get with Aaron Rodgers? We're not going to win the Super Bowl. We're barely going to make the playoffs, and if we do, we're going to lose in the first round or the second round. I mean, I'm at this point, my heart can't take it no more. I'm done with all the heartbreaks. So I'd rather start new with the new QB and see what we can do and build a new team around him. And the Green Bay Packers are, from a salary cap perspective, they're not looking good. Next year, they're going to be 20 million over the cap. And from what I read, I don't think that's including Aaron Rodgers' salary.
So,
I mean,
so how do you think we should rebuild this team?
how do we
what do we fill in terms of positions?
I don't, as of now, because if they didn't give him that contract extension, it would have been much better. But now with the contract extension, now you got to see who's willing to take that on, and it's gonna affect us in a dead cap type of way. So, but all we could do is right now is try to bring him back for one more year, and also just give Jordan Love that extension as well.
I don't know if Jordan Love wants that though. Do you think he wants to extend with the team that's gonna like 4 years? What is that? Could it be 3 or 4 years in a row on the bench?
4 years.
I mean, that's tough, man.
Yeah, that's tough.
Another question. Coaching status.
What do you mean?
Thoughts on Matt LaFleur?
Matt LaFleur is a genius.
Matt LaFleur. I don't think he's not a big game coach.
He's not a big game coach, man. He's a good coach.
I mean, to be honest, like I feel like 2020 was Matt LaFleur's peak, and honestly, like the reason why we were so good that season is I felt like Aaron Rodgers did a better job at least playing within the offense.
That's the year y'all lost to Tampa, right?
Yeah, that's the year where
in the fourth quarter he made some questionable decisions.
I mean, still though, irregardless, I'm talking about his overall like how he is as a quarterback. I feel like even if we transition towards Jordan Love, I feel like Jordan Love would have success simply because of Matt LaFleur. I feel like Matt LaFleur plays an offense that it's a very quarterback friendly offense. And 2020 was like the last time I felt like Aaron Rodgers like actually played within the offense. Now this season, I'm not a fan of the whole him at the line calling different plays and then him deferring from Matt LaFleur because I feel like that threw us off a lot. And I think Matt LaFleur is perfect for the job, but he's not the issue at hand. I think the bigger issue is Joe Barry as our defensive coordinator. I think he has to go for sure, but it's looking like we're probably going to retain him. So,
Joe Barry didn't do a bad job if you think about it this year. Only from this perspective, the team was going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And the defense constantly kept going back out on the field.
Not really.
So what do you expect when the team is constantly going back out on the field and the offense could only muster up 3 points?
That wasn't simply the case in the first half. That wasn't simply the case in the first half of the season, though. It was more so the fact that Lily, that game one, Liddy, from game one, how we covered teams was just, it wasn't even a bend and don't break philosophy. We legit let teams just creep up on us with 7-yard gains, 6-yard games. It's like we're playing Madden and we're just playing prevent. That's literally what I was seeing. At least I'll give Joe Barry his credit. The last 4-5 weeks of the season, he tightened up the defense. The defense played much better. But the first half of the season wasn't simply a matter of 3 and out in offense. At one point we were 3-1, I think, or 4-1 or something like that. And even then, it felt like the defense could not get stops. We got gashed in the run game. We let up easy yards. Like that game against Justin Jefferson, week 1. Liddy was a story of the rest of the season. The way teams were able to just pick up yards against us. It wasn't until like the latter half of the season that we started to tighten up. So I mean, we came into the season, and I think you could agree with me. We have a talented defensive group. I think we have a pretty good defense overall. The safeties might need some change, and that's why I kind of want us to draft Brian Branch. But I feel like the safety position needs to be changed, and Joe Barry got to go. But like, there's a bunch of positions that need to be fixed. We need another wide receiver, whether that's through the draft. I don't think Christian Watson and Romeo Dubs is enough. I think we need one more wide receiver, and we need some offensive help because we know David Bakhtiari, man. This guy takes vacations. Like, he's gonna be gone for sure. So
No, because
that's why.
with David Bakhtiari's injury, think about it. He's 6'2", 300 pounds, and you can't just come off easily from torn ACL. First, what you got to do is cut the weight down and then slowly put it back on. So for him, it's going to take a while. It's going to be a long process. We do got to work on the offensive line because it
I
hasn't
feel like
been the
that. I
same.
feel like that crumbles a lot for us.
No, it crumbles in big game situations. And the whole Packer organization, they crumble in big game situation. Aaron Jones, a guy that never fumbles in big games,
I don't understand that.
always
guy.
fumbles in big games. Devontae Adams, when he played for us, he dropped a touchdown versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though he only had 2 drops in the whole season. And that comes back to the coach. The coach is what gives the team the identity. And this team is more of a team that basically they just carry on the personality. If you look at the Tennessee Titans, they have a tough blue collar worker type of coach, and they're a tough team. If you look at the Patriots, they got a smart defense. They have a smart coach. They're more of a smart team. They know where to be at. Packers team, they're a finesse team, but at the same time, it's hit or miss. They're not consistent enough. Big games, they
Right.
don't show up. Aaron Rodgers, he loves to, when he has a lead, he loves to showboat, just huff and puff. But then when he faces the top teams in his conference, we know how the story goes. 49ers, look what they've been doing him all these years. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady came to that conference, and in 1 year, he won a Super Bowl. And that was the Packers' best chance of winning it. He was begging for a home NFC championship game. He got it. What did he do? Nothing. He didn't run the ball on 3rd and 8. So, and for me, I wouldn't get rid of the Matt LaFleur right now, but that's someone they got to look at in terms of when Jordan Love takes over the franchise, because I don't think he's going to be the good enough coach to develop him. It's more of the Warrior situation. Mark Jackson could only take you here, but then once Steve Kerr came in, he was able to take you to the top. That's what they should do with Matt LaFleur. Just let him build a team a little bit, and then just get a better coach so he could take them to that next level.
Talk to me about your receiving core. You being a Packers fan your entire life, you went from, the Jordy Nelsons, the Greg Jennings, then you had Devontae Adams, who's still arguably the best receiver in the league. And now coming into this year, you had, Romeo Dubs, Christian Watson, Randall Cobb, and Alan Lazard. So talk to me about what you guys think you guys need to do in terms of, bolstering up this wide receiver room, or do you guys just continue with these young guys that you guys got and kind of just go with the young core? As you're saying right now, you want Jordan Love to take the reins soon, hopefully. Do you want him to have a true wide receiver one, or do you just want Christian Watson to kind of establish himself into that role?
No, the wide receiving core we have right now, they're a special group, but Aaron Rodgers not gonna be. Aaron Rodgers not the good QB for them, for the simple fact that he likes to play with veteran, smart people. When he took over the keys for the franchise from Brett Favre, he had Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Jermichael Finley, 3 guys that have been in the system for 3-4 years, that are veteran, that have proven themselves. And then Jordy Nelson also got drafted that year. And then once those guys started fading out and Jordy Nelson started becoming the main guy since that Super Bowl run, Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb were drafted. So while Devontae was developing, he also had Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson to throw to. And then now when Jordy Nelson came, when those 2 guys retired and Devontae Adams was the go-to guys, they didn't draft any receivers. So they were just force-feeding Devontae Adams the ball over and over again. But then all of a sudden, when you pull the carpet under the rug, now they just have these 2 rookie receivers, and Aaron Rodgers never had rapport with them. I feel like if they go into next year, this team will be a lot better. I feel like they could win the division if Aaron Rodgers comes back. But then again, the ceiling is just 1 round and that's it. And at this point, I'd rather start over again and just I wouldn't draft any new receiver right now. What I would do is I'll try to get like an old veteran receiver, someone that Aaron Rodgers could trust in specific moments, and just work with what we have right now, and just be more of a run team, and then just play action off there.
That's the thing. AJ Dillon and what we gonna do about AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones? I know Abdi hates one guy. He wants one guy cut off.
Yeah, of course I hate AJ Dillon. I don't like Aaron Jones. I like him. I think he's one of the best running backs in the NFL. His the only issue is fumbles in big games, but other than that, I think Aaron Jones perfectly fine. AJ Dillon, he just had a down year. I don't know what happened. He just looked like he was running in mud. The guy just could not pick up yardage for us. I feel like overall, just the offense in general, it's only gonna be positive regression from this point on. There's no way we're as bad offensively this year. I do think we should bring back Aaron Rodgers for the next season, but if we trade him for 2 first-round picks or whatever the other teams are asking for example, the Jets or any of these other teams that are looking for him, I mean, I don't mind taking a wide receiver in that first round, especially someone like JSN or Jordan Addison or
How about the fix the
Quentin
whole line, though?
Johnson.
You,
We,
sorry,
we
you know him. Vacation, Bucks game front seat, drinking beers. He's not gonna be on that old line protected no more.
Yeah,
Well, I gotta
Bakhtiari's
beef up that.
injury
I gotta
is
beef
injury
up that
risky.
old line if you want to, protect Jordan Love. You can't put him into the season with a bad old line his first year starting. That just throwing him into the wolves.
True.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, we got. It all really just comes down to what Aaron Rodgers does this offseason. I think that's the Packers are just waiting. They have a wait and see approach with him. If he leaves, if he requests a trade and we trade him out, I mean, there it is. We start with Jordan Love and then a bunch of young guys. We have probably one of the younger teams in the NFL after that. If not, then we have to wait and see if we run it back with him.
That's why giving him that extension was one of the biggest mistakes that franchise has made. Because they saw what Brett Favre did with them in 2005 when he said he's going to retire, come back, retire, come back, retire, come back. They held him. You practically held him hostage, and now you're going to do basically the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. And going into next year, you don't know how, with the cap situation, how it's going to look, and who wants a 39-year-old QB who has 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So Green Bay Packers are in a tough predicament, but all we could do is just pull the Band-Aids off and start fresh. That's it.
So we need this. So now we're gonna pivot away and ask you this question: your Super Bowl pick. We're familiar with you. You don't like Patrick Mahomes. Like that's if the audience doesn't know, they should know now. You're not a fan of Patrick
This
Mahomes.
guy has a lot of other quarterbacks
Yeah.
ahead of Mahomes.
It's some weird agenda,
Yeah,
but we need to
very
know
Okay, go ahead.
we need to know your Super Bowl pick.
Who do
The
I have?
Eagles and Chiefs and why.
Ooh.
Listen, my heart is telling me go with the Eagles, but my head is telling me go with the Chiefs for this reason. The Eagles, when they faced the Dallas Cowboys and these other top teams, they gave up a lot of points. San Francisco was practically in the game until they went down to their third string QB. Now they're going up against the best QB in the league right now. So Aaron Rodgers is not Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins, none of those. He's above them. So if I had to predict who's going to win, I'll probably say Chiefs 31, Eagles 27.
So you think it's going to be a high-scoring affair?
Yeah, it's going to be a high-scoring game.
You think with the Eagles' offense and how they've been playing this year with their stout defense and everything overall being fantastic with Jalen Hurts, think they got a chance to pull this one out?
Yeah, of course they do, most definitely. But the thing is, though, the big question mark in this game is going to be Jalen Hurts. That's just the big question mark. When you seen him play in the big game in the college championship game, he didn't perform. He was subpar. So being in the biggest stage right now, I don't know how he's going to perform. And especially if the Kansas City Chiefs
even against the Niners, 120 yards only.
And plus his shoulder is still banged up a bit. So let's say if the Kansas City Chiefs just locked down the run game and they said, you know what, how about you beat us with throwing the ball? Then I really don't think he could go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball.
It's gonna be an interesting, little matchup to see because of course, well, there's two sides of the argument when it comes to Jalen Hurts. One being the fact that the Eagles, they've been blowing guys out. They blew out not the Dallas Cowboys. They blew out the Giants. Then they went and had and played the Niners and they blew them out. So Jalen Hurts didn't really need to do much. But now when you go up against Patrick Mahomes, of course, one game for all the marbles, it is going to come down to quarterback play. And right now with Jalen Hurts being banged up and never really being in a true position to have to, win a game for the team, It's going to be interesting to see. But of course, I think we're going ahead and wrap things up here, though. Really appreciate you hopping on and talking about the Green Bay Packers with us, and look forward to hearing from you soon.
Listen, I appreciate you guys having me, and it's always a pleasure to be a part of your show.
Yes, sir. My guy.
We will catch you.
Thank you so
All right,
much, man. We'll see you
Take
soon.
care.
Sir.
So now we went from Minnesota all the way to Green Bay, roughly stayed in the division. Now we're going to go ahead and pivot all the way to the AFC. The next guest you'll meet, he's not a familiar face, is a new face, first time on the show. I won't go ahead and say what team he reps, but I think a lot of people are going to have some, eyebrow raises when you hear about who he reps, but he should be here in a couple seconds. And once we joins in, we'll go ahead and kick things off. But
there he is.
Right on cue.
Yeah.
I love it. Everybody's starting to pile on and right on time. And with that being said, I think I've done enough talking. I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Yeah, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
Yo,
Man, I've been
no,
waiting for this
man.
one.
Mojo.
Hey, man, take that jersey off, bro. Y'all,
That's what I told him. That's what I told him.
Shout out the Broncos,
Take that
man.
jersey
They
off, bro.
blessed us this year, man. Thank you. Shout out the Broncos.
DK?
Oh, that's a DK jersey, you know what I'm saying?
Man, that guy. Hey, the days are counting his time in Seattle, bro. That guy, they're gonna get rid of him. What's up, though, bro?
What's going on, man?
Hey,
Go ahead.
thank you for the 5th overall pick, man. That's all I gotta say.
Man, that's okay, bro. Hey, all I gotta say is everybody coming from my Broncos, we good in the AFC West. All I gotta say, we straight.
That's what they
I'm
said
gonna
this year,
say.
though.
That's what they
Huh?
said this year, man.
That's what they
Talk to
said
us,
this
man.
year, though.
No. This year, hey, Broncos, bro. All I'm gonna say is this year was a test run for everything. We got a new quarterback, we got a new head coach. His first year actually, so he needed experience, and especially with the Seattle game, 60 yards kick that was unseen. I haven't seen that ever, bro. And if it's a lucky, it's actually like you're playing your luck out there. You know what I mean?
Okay,
But
speak
it's
to us
been
about
ups
how
and
the
downs,
season went,
bro.
though, man. Like, long season, you know.
Like talk to us.
Hackett
What
getting
went
fired.
wrong? What went wrong with the
Like, what
Broncos?
was
I
wrong
like
with the
it.
offense?
My guy Mo Hancho, the one and only, came in, no introduction, went straight to defending
Bro,
the Denver
Straight
Broncos.
to defending the Broncos.
Had
But
to go, bro.
let's
'Cause
go
every
ahead.
time I speak about my Broncos, bro, people look at me sideways, bro.
Let's
But hey,
let's go ahead and get a recap of the season for you. Of course, you guys acquired Russell Wilson from Big H's team Seattle. The expectations coming into this year were very, very high, but you guys went below that. So I want to get your thoughts on how the whole season went. How are you feeling throughout the season?
it was a roller coaster, man. Like it was, if you look at in the beginning of the season, we went on the losing streak, but it was like one touchdown. It was 1 point games. It was like neck to neck all games. It was very disappointing. Like towards the second half, we just couldn't close up the games, But I feel like now, and chemistry as well. Russell Wilson was just getting used to the offense. And as you've seen, like there was miscommunications going on. People weren't getting into their coverages. There was fumble trouble with Melvin Gordon. We had to bench him. But now that we got good running backs, and I'm hearing that the good coach is recruiting Josh Jacobs from the Raiders, we should be good. All I'm trying to say, I'm just trying to throw away last season. Yeah, last season. I'm not gonna lie, man. I gave up week 5, man. I was done after them week 5. I was like, there's no way. If I keep watching this game, I'm just gonna be miserable.
Yeah.
I can't see my team lose every time, bro. Everybody hates
So Russell Wilson, where do you stand on him? Do you feel like Russell Wilson was washed? Because everybody's watching this season. The way he was playing, I mean, it looked like he was probably bottom 5 worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, there's at one point guys like Jacoby Brissett were better than him. So
100%.
how do you feel? How do you feel about Russell? Do you feel like he's washed? Like coming into next season, he's gonna be your quarterback. He's gonna be starting no matter what. Do you feel like he's washed? Like, where do you stand on him?
Russell Wilson is a good quarterback overall. I'm not gonna lie. There's damage he did to the league. He proved his point. I would say that. I can't say that this guy's a bust, But I'm saying is his time in the NFL is coming to the end. Like he's getting like he did his thing in Seattle, won the Super Bowl, appeared in a lot of playoffs. He did his thing in Seattle. But there's a reason why Seattle let him go. It's like he can't produce as time goes on. Quarterbacks is limited. Like
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, it takes one good injury for him to say my cleats are done. Good.
his size too. You know, he's a 5'11".
Yeah, man, this guy's too small, bro. Unless you guys gonna buy out like a perfect O line for him, bro. His season's limited.
That is where like issues were.
All
this
line
season.
issues were big.
Of course, Russell Wilson and he himself, like he was not good. Let's
Yeah,
be frank, he was
100%.
bad. But like the offensive line issues were pretty big. At one point, I mean, you had kickers and punters coming up to offensive line, like getting
Way.
beef with them, like, yo, like what's up? Like
No
protect
way.
your quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's your number one job. So I'm not gonna sit here and excuse Russell Wilson for his play, but like the offensive line let him down heavily. So like, do I think Russell Wilson is washed? I don't think he's particularly washed, but I don't think he's gonna hit that same level of play that he ever did in Seattle. I don't think Russell Wilson will ever be a top 10 quarterback again. That's where I stand with it. Well, he's gonna be a top 15 quarterback. Wherever you have guys like Daniel Jones, guys like that, like usually where guys like Ryan Tannehill used to be, that's where Russell Wilson's gonna be. I don't think Russell Wilson's gonna be a top 10 quarterback anymore. I feel like his time there.
With this offense coming into next season, you know, you guys are going to try to rebuff your O-line, but, you know, Judy, Cortland Sutton, and what's his name? Javonte Williams. Or Sean Payton. What you thinking, Mohancho? Especially with your defense, the way y'all played last year. We didn't even get your the recap on your defense, man. Your defense was
hooping.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. The defense kept us in the game. I'm not gonna lie.
They kept on a lot of games.
Russell Wilson owes him his check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bro, I'm not gonna lie. I lost hope when Bradley Chubbs left to Miami, and I was like, damn, that was one main factor on the line.
You guys, what did they get for him? What pick did you guys get?
I forgot. What was it?
It was Chase Edmonds and a couple of picks. I'm not.
Did they get a first round pick for him or no?
Might have been a second round.
I think it was second, bro.
Yeah.
It was second for sure. Has to be, bro, because Bradley Chubbs.
You guys didn't want to pay him though. He was only kind of coming off it was the last year on his contract. He was asking for a whole lot of money. Miami paid him big time. So, I mean,
bro,
defense is still fantastic.
You got to understand, too, because if you're doing good for a team, you have to be paid. He was, I'm not going to lie, he was one of the main factors.
He was like in Miami, he kind of slowed down.
Bro, that guy, something was up with that guy, bro. He's like, y'all got to pay me or I'm done. And if you're going to go to a team like Tyreek Hill, bro, he could have been in the Super Bowl right now. But he was like, the money matters.
Money matters.
Where the money's at.
The money matters. But I'm gonna go ahead and segue out of the entire regular season and go ahead and move on to the off season. You guys, of course, fired your head coach Nathaniel Hackett, the guy who's been a problem. I'm sure you had your problems with him as well. But you guys did make a significant hire. You guys got Sean Payton, and you guys are starting to jumpstart things for the offseason. So now with Sean Payton as head coach, and now you have the pairing of Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, what are some offseason moves that you're looking forward to, going into next year?
Yeah, offseason moves, bro. It's going to be a productive offseason for them because they're going to have to do – it's two people that have plenty of experience. We got an experienced quarterback, experienced head coach. Both of them championship caliber, either quarterback and a player. So they can either
They both got chips.
Yeah, they both.
Yeah, they do, right?
Now, the thing is, though, I can't trading for a head coach is still kind of crazy to me.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it is Sean Payton. Drew Brees won under Sean Payton. I mean, if there's any coach, he was the best coach available on the market. Let's be honest, he is the best coach
100%.
available on the market. So for trading, but I feel like I think the number one thing, I think you guys are good on the wide receiver department. I feel like
wide receiver, and now I feel like our running back is just they just got to just tweak.
Javonte just has to get healthy. He just has to get healthy.
And plus, I'm hearing that he's recruiting Josh Jacobs. So I think that could happen, bro. Because rumors is Joe Mixon, he just had something going on in Cincinnati. They might wave him into going into the Las Vegas, bro. Josh Jacobs is in the Broncos. Hey, come move on to. Good, right?
I think offensive. I think the number one
Shout out
thing
the Raiders.
they should take care of the Broncos is the offensive line. I think the offensive line needs to be
100%.
buffed up. I think the running game, depending on Javonte Williams' health or whoever they recruit, I think the running game will be good enough. But the offensive line is the number one issue at hand, 100%. Because Russell Wilson, he didn't play great, but that was the key area where they just were unable to protect him. The wide receiver core, I think, I don't know what's gonna happen with Judy. I feel like there's teams that are
a lot though. I feel like he complains a lot on that Broncos line, even before Wilson. Even before Wilson came.
Injuries. It's injuries.
He picked up an injury, and then of course there was chemistry issues with him and Russell Wilson. So, but I feel like the wide receiver core is good enough for this Broncos team, and the defense, of course, we know their defense is stout. As always, I mean, they're the reason why they kept them in games for that long. So, like, I think priority wise, they just need to buff up that O line. Like, that should be their number one thing. And then I think it just comes down to Russell Wilson's play. That's all that matters at hand. Like, you can make up all the moves you want, but if Russell Wilson is trash, like what's that going to take you? You know,
I mean, I think the Champagne hiring, like I said when we talked about it, it's a good match. Experienced head coach, experienced quarterback. I said it in the offseason going into this year that I didn't believe that the Denver Broncos would be successful as a team, simply because it was Russell Wilson coming from a different franchise where he's been there for 7-8 years, coming into a new playbook, new franchise, new organization, new coaching staff. It takes some time for things like that to adjust. And I feel like, now that they've gotten Nathaniel Hackett out of there and they signed Champagne, they traded for Champagne, Russell Wilson will be better in year 2. So, Mohancha, I believe you have a lot of things to look forward to next year. And, Jerry Jeudy and his emotions and stuff like that, Jerry Jeudy's playing for a contract going into next year. And I feel like, towards the end of the season, we were seeing some flashes with him. I believe he had a big 3-touchdown game against Kansas City where Russell Wilson got knocked out. And Jerry Jeudy is going to be the guy. And when you look at every team across the league, everybody has a wide receiver one. And I feel like the Denver Broncos right now, they don't necessarily have an established wide receiver one. But I feel like Jerry Jeudy next year is going to establish himself for that role. And then Cortland Sutton will be the secondary wide receiver, the wide receiver 2, which isn't bad. He's one of the best wide receivers as they come.
He's a big jump ball guy. He's a touchdown guy.
Yeah, his 6'3", 6'4" frame, allows him to, Russell Wilson and throw the ball up there and just go up there and grab it. True end zone threat, similar to T. Higgins, but to a lesser degree. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and pivot on to the big game that's going on Sunday between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Who do you got and why?
Rihanna. I'll be honest. Hey, you see my playlist, bro. I'm trying to listen to her lyrics. I'm more excited to the halftime show, bro. I'm done with you, bro.
You got the lyrics on the
I forgot she was performing at halftime. What the hell?
Yep.
You're only looking forward to the halftime game?
Looking forward to, that's it.
Yeah, no,
so you ain't siding with nobody?
None of that.
Nah, bro. I don't think I'm even watching the game, bro. But hey, I would love to see the Eagles win. I would love to see the Eagles win.
Why is that?
Jalen Hurts.
So you don't mess with Patrick Mahomes?
Nah, bro.
What's wrong with Patrick Mahomes?
I mean, Jalen Hurts.
Ever since he beat the Niners, bro, I was on dirt with him, bro. Nah, no.
I mean, they just did the same thing to you, to be honest. Like
something doesn't the Chiefs. Something just don't excite me about them, bro. Like I never went for them. I always rooted against them. Something is up with Arrowhead, man.
Hey, division rivals though. You feel me? Like you can't mess with the Chiefs.
Nah, I wouldn't want to see my division rival win a
They in the way, bro. They in the way.
They're the team that's in the way. I wouldn't want to. I'm definitely not going to root for them, but I mean, it's good to know that you're only interested in the halftime show.
I had to be honest, bro.
Hey, man, I respect the honesty though. But any final words though before we sign off here for you?
Yeah, man. Hey, bro, what's up with your Minnesota, bro? How the hell y'all let that? Y'all can't let games like that slip, man. You guys the Giants.
I think next year, especially with this offseason, it's going to be a huge offseason for us. We have to address a lot of things, and I feel like we already did part of that by hiring a new defensive coordinator, Brian Flores. But there's a lot of question marks on that side of the ball, which is the reason why we weren't able to do much in the playoffs, as you said.
Great head coach.
Yeah, we were able to hit on our head coach, but our defensive coordinator this year, not so much.
Yeah, man. Hey, where's Aaron Rodgers going?
He's going to the Jets, bro. Come on, 2 first-round picks.
He tripping.
2 first-round picks, baby. Come on.
Honcho, let me tell you something though. The 5th pick, that shit's sweet.
Bro, hey,
sweet.
Seattle, bro. Y'all just got lucky this year, bro.
Sweet.
I don't know what happened.
Sweet. Thank you for taking Russell Wilson off our hands, man. Y'all blessed us. I swear to God, y'all blessed us. I love you. You know what I'm saying? I love you.
Yo, Geno Smith been behind Russell Wilson for 10 years, bro. This guy has to be producing. He has to. Yeah, he had no choice to perform the way he did this year. He had if he was a bust,
the guy came from unemployment.
No team would have picked him up.
Hey, unemployment to this, you feel me? Come back, play the year. Don't hate on him.
It sucks to be. Hey, that's what I'm trying to say. If you're a QB2 behind Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, man, better off going.
Hey, get this guy off, man. He put Russell Wilson and Tom Brady at the same.
Hey, no, hey, I'm just saying, Russell Wilson in his prime, bro. This guy been behind him 10 years. We talking
No,
about
like, the guy,
2013 right
like,
now.
he came from the Jets.
2016 though, like 6 years. They ain't too bad.
Yeah,
Ain't too
Yeah.
bad.
it was still
No,
long as hell though.
Yeah,
Still
Gino's
long, bro.
Gino's definitely been a backup for quite some time. And
Quite some time.
he's been quite the journeyman. But
Exactly.
Mohancha, man, really appreciate you having setting aside some time to have you on here, man.
100%, man.
Of course, as always, look forward to hearing from you soon, and take care, my brother.
New media, baby. Let's go.
Let's
Sure.
get it.
Get it, man. Nah,
So
6
now
years behind Russ, right?
I still don't understand how he's a Denver Broncos fan.
Peyton Manning.
Oh,
He's
Peyton
a
Manning. There we go.
fan, so.
There we go. But now we're transitioning. We're still staying in the AFC, but transitioning to a new guest, new face. This guy that I'm about to describe right now. For those of you that listen to us, or watch us on YouTube, the song that's playing in the intro, or in our first intro, it was him. In our second intro, it was him again. And without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I'm in direct, man. New
What's
media.
going on, man? How you doing?
I'm feeling good, living good, man. How's everything?
Man, everything's been
Introduce yourself
great,
to the
man.
fans, man. They've been waiting for you to come on this podcast.
Yeah, man. If y'all ain't know, man, I go by LH the Maestro, man. You know what I'm saying? These my big brothers right here doing the new media podcast. And I'm the song in the intro, man. Step on Steppers. And I'm here to rep the one and only, man. Still Curtin.
Steelers, man.
The
I mean,
Steel
we've had
Curtain,
everything
man.
so
Got the
far.
Steelers in that
Minnesota,
house,
the
man.
Packers, the Broncos, the Steelers, man. 4 different teams so far. That's crazy.
You know you gotta
Very
say
diverse, very
you gotta
diverse.
save the 6-time Super Bowl champions for the last, man.
Nah.
No?
But I'm gonna get you started, bro. I need to know your thoughts on Kenny Pickett because on this podcast we kind of briefly touched up on him. We had BLS early on in the season, and he was kind of indifferent about Kenny Pickett. Then afterwards, he warmed up to him. I want to know your thoughts on Kenny Pickett. Do you feel like he's the franchise quarterback for you? Talk to me.
See, this is what I feel about Kenny Pickett. I was watching Kenny Pickett when he played in Pitt, not as in like I was watching every game he played, but he was one of the biggest names in college football back when he was playing college football. He was a Heisman contender. He went viral for that fake slide everybody remembers,
Yeah.
And when it was between him and Malik Willis to get drafted by the Steelers, I was going with Willis. I won't lie to you, but Willis fell down in the draft, and we got Kenny Pickett. And after a while, when you draft a player, it grows on you. You look back at their highlights, and I said, you know what, this guy's capable of something. Once Mitch Trubisky fell down from the starting spot, Kenny Pickett started off slow, but he got his rhythm and led us to a season over 500 again.
Well, speaking of the season, I kind of want you to recap. Talk to me about how the season went for you. Mike Tomlin, of course, it's death taxes and a winning season. It doesn't matter what happens. Mike Tomlin's going to leave with a winning season. But talk to me about this season. Recap it for me. What went right for you? What went wrong? Just talk to me about it.
See, this is the thing, man. We started off 2-6, finished 9-8. Mike Tomlin has that coaching ability to make young players look like veterans. He had George Pickens looking like a receiver that played for 3 years or 4 years. Deontay Johnson had a slow season, but he started picking it up towards the end. I don't get how a wide receiver can have top 3 in the most receptions with 0 touchdowns in the season.
It's crazy.
To me, Deontay Johnson's not a guy that can go get touchdowns for you. I feel like he's just a guy that can make those small catches like Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett get touchdowns. I ain't comparing the two, but he's not a real big touchdown.
No, the thing about Deontay is Deontay's gonna get open off the line. There's no question about that. Deontay is an elite separator. He's gonna get off the line. But the thing is, Deontay, I don't know if Pickens is gonna end up being the wide receiver one. I think that's the direction that they're headed towards. Deontay's more of like a guy that's gonna win on the line. Pick up some yardage. He's gonna be a third down machine.
It's possession for him every time.
Yeah.
Possession. But a guy like Pickens, put him anywhere, he's gonna get that ball. And you throw it, bottom pocket, he's gonna grab it with his left hand under his legs. He can do a lot of stuff. So that's a different type of receiver right there. But I have one question for you though, man.
Yes,
throughout the whole season, offensively, points getting put on board. Slowly starting off the first 6-7 games wasn't too well, and then your last 10 to 8 games, you guys play phenomenally well. But still, points 17, 16, 15, 20, 18, winning games by 3 points. And where's the offense going to come from next year? How's it going to switch?
See, the thing is, right, with our offense, we still have Matt Canada as our offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
Um,
I forgot about that guy.
yeah. The thing
Hey,
is,
he's
like,
up there with Greg Roman. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, we look like a team that plays on Saturdays. And you know what I mean by Saturdays? We look like a college football team, when it comes to the offense. We run these short plays, mainly targeted Fryermuth. But I feel like if we trust Pickett with the deep ball and Najee Harris steps it up like he did towards the end of the season, we'll be good on the offensive end. I feel like our defense is elite. Probably, I say we had a top 5 defense. You guys might think different.
Nah,
We had the best safety in the league as of last season, this present season.
I
I
do
mean,
believe y'all have the best DN too when he's healthy. But
yeah. And back to the DN, I feel like we started off 1-0 and then he got hurt. I feel like if he were to stay a couple of those games that we lost in the beginning, like the first 4 or 5 and we went 1-3 was decided by a touchdown or one possession. And I feel like if we had TJ Watt on the defensive end, we could have really did something with that. Maybe went 2-2 to start, 3-1, and had a spot in the playoffs, finishing at least 10-7, 11-6. But I'll take 9-8 in a comeback season, man. Everybody thought we were gonna be in a rebuild season, which we really were, but we just couldn't finish the season with a losing season. Kenny Pickett showed glimpses of a poised quarterback. He was poised even when he was throwing those interceptions. He didn't pull a Zach Wilson. He didn't catch an attitude. He didn't throw his helmet. And he just stayed poised because he's built for this, man. He's a hometown kid, man. Played college at Pitt, got drafted to Pittsburgh. That's what
next
I
year,
feel.
man, I know you want Matt Canada out the door, so that's what we aiming for,
Well,
right?
well, we re-signed Matt Canada. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know, we re-signed Matt Canada, but I feel like, we probably re-signed him for a reason that the fans don't know much about, stuff that happens on in the facility over there. I feel like Matt Canada just trusts his young quarterback and trusts his young wide receivers. We could really do something. We're in one of the toughest divisions in the league with uh Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore. So it's scary over there.
Going into the draft, though, y'all looking to get another receiver to pair up with Pickens, or fix up that old line. What are we saying?
Well, I feel like our main focus is fix up our O line and get another defensive back. I feel like we can get another defensive back in the free agency and get another offensive star with either the 32nd pick or because we have the 17th pick and the 32nd pick in this draft. And I feel like we
There's
go
some good
after one.
receivers.
I feel like the offensive line does need work, though. I mean, to be honest, like
But we see.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I might be still Najee's biggest hater.
the
But
last 7 weeks,
the
though.
first half of the season, what I saw from Najee was just downright terrible. Then, of course, like he had the situation where he took, I think it was a steel plate or something out of his foot, and then he started to ramp up his play. In the second half of the season, I feel like Najee kind of woke up as a running back. He had vision issues in the beginning of the season. I feel like that was a combination of both of the offensive line play and his overall explosive ability. And then, as the season went on, the guy got better, and especially the last four or five games, like Najee woke up.
I feel like early on in the season, after Big Ben retiring, and you know how Big Ben plays, like Najee was used as that slot receiver a lot. He was catching the ball a lot last year. This year came with a new quarterback. You got Trubisky, you got Kenny Pickett. They weren't really checked down into Najee, so we didn't see a lot of his game in the pass game anymore. He was very flustered in the backfield, but I feel like the last 7 weeks it opened up. He started to turn up. They started getting him the ball more. He was very explosive. He put some touchdowns on the board. He won out some games. Did have some game-winning touchdowns, so it was fantastic to see him turn up. But I do want to see him get involved in the pass game more.
Yes, sir. Najee Hurdle Harris, man. Like the thing about Najee, we all know he's not a speed back. We all know that. Even though he can get explosive once he breaks out, he's not a speed back, but he's a freak athlete who can catch and run. And he also has this freaking nature strength. So I feel like if we use Najee right, get him some protection, open up some holes, he could have another 1,000-yard season. This season, he started off slow, finished strong. That's just the story of our season. A team that started off 2-6 and went 7-3 or however many games we won towards the end of the season and came out nice, man. I feel like with Najee, get him some pieces, surround the offense around with another offensive lineman, get another DB. We'll be good to go, man. And trust in Pickett.
A nice interesting fun fact that you mentioned to me roughly about last week is since the day you started watching football, you've never witnessed a losing season. And you did touch up on it a little bit, saying, being in the tough division that you guys are in with the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Browns. Of course, going 9-8 and avoiding going below 500 is nice and all, but some moves need to be made going into next year. And where do you guys see yourselves in terms of rankings within your guys' division? Because of course the Bengals coming off another AFC Championship game appearance, and then you have the Ravens with the Lamar Jackson situation kind of being shaky a little bit right now, and then of course the Browns making a move for Deshaun Watson, adding another elite quarterback to your guys' group. So where do you feel like the Steelers rank amongst all those teams?
See, this is how I see it. On paper, we might look like the fourth seed in that division, right? The Browns are a team that always looks good on paper. We all know that. When they had Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, you're like, this team's gonna go everywhere. Now they got Deshaun Watson, a power back, and Nick Chubb. But I still feel like us Steelers being the organization we are, will still be ahead of the Browns next season. If Lamar stays, which is more than likely, it'll be a battle between us and Baltimore for that second seed, because Cincinnati's going to be running it for a while. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's a whole another story. And that's our main focus for next season, making it to the playoffs and dancing from there,
I feel like that's a reasonable take. Like, I do kind of get where you're coming from. Like, on paper, of course, the Browns always look good. And then, you have the Bengals right there with Joe Burrow. And then, the situation with the Ravens, as long as they have Lamar Jackson's always going to put them in a position to compete. But, like, the Steelers have this weird thing where, like, when they go up against any of their any of the teams in the AFC North, like, they have some dog battles. Like, you see the first game, they picked off Joe Burrow 4 times the first game of the season. Anytime they match up against the Ravens, they give them hell. The same thing. So it's like in this division, it isn't less about like the overall maybe talent that you have, but more so about like your defense. And I feel like you guys have arguably the best defense in that division. And then of course it really comes down to how well can your offense play. Like, can your offense at least be able to give your defense a breather, give you an opportunity to be close in these games? And I feel like Kenny Pickett could do that next season. He has a season under his belt. Now next season he comes in with George Pickens. He comes in with Deontay Johnson. He comes with Najee. I feel like, Steelers have a chance to go up to that second or third seed. Really just depends what goes on with Kenny Pickett's development. I feel like where he goes is where the Steelers go next season.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. I feel the same way. Wherever Kenny takes us, you know what I mean? We on the Kenny bus right now. But like, I don't know, man. It was just something about those last couple games. Even might have been one of the games we lost. I seen something in that young team. Kenny Pickett with a game-winning drive against the Raiders. That game really showed me a lot. And I feel like we started the season with a divisional win against the Bengals, ended the season with a divisional win against the Browns. When it comes to the division, we like showing them that we're the big dogs here. We're the ones with the rings. Y'all take the back seat. But I feel like we need to take that mentality throughout the whole season. That's my take on that.
Man, I'm excited, man, because you've been raving about Kenny Pickett. Next season, I hope next season he looks good, because there's a lot of people paying close attention to that Steelers team. But I do think that Matt Canada might be the reason why the offense gets held back. I mean, we saw this season how stagnant the offense looked. Regardless of the quarterback situation, just overall Matt Canada's play calling did not resonate well with anybody. Even if you're not a Steelers fan, it just did not look good. But
that's why I pay more respect to Kenny Pickett, man, because he came through end of those games, pulled through some drives, and won some games with that type of offensive coordinator throwing some nasty plays at him. But continue.
That's why quarterbacks are the most important position, man, in the game, because that's a plate they're dealt with. That's a place they plate they got to eat from. They got to wear those big boy shoes. And when the offensive coordinator is not up to par, you got to take it to that next level. I feel like Kenny Pickett being in the AFC, we know all the top quarterbacks in the league are in the AFC. We got Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, all the big dogs, even Trevor Lawrence on his up. So he's going to get overlooked because we got all those big dogs there. But I feel like if he finds his footing and helps us win those games, there's no way they're going to overlook him, We just got to win, man. Win. Even if it's ugly, even if it looks pretty, we got to win.
I mean, that's Steelers' way. Just win ugly.
Win ugly.
That's how the Steelers rock, right? Defensively, they gonna be in the games.
Physical defense, ugly defensive battles, and ugly jerseys. I can't lie.
Come on, man. Black and yellow, man.
But anyways, let's segue into the Super Bowl, man. Because we have two huge matchups. You got Jalen Hurts, you got Patrick Mahomes on one side, well, on either side. Who are you rocking with, and why?
See, this is my take, man. I like the Eagles a lot. I had AJ Brown in fantasy this year, helped me win the championship. Dallas Goddard too. I feel like Mahomes is Mahomes. He's gonna come out and ball. But y'all seen Mahomes play the 2 games prior to the Super Bowl game when he almost lost to Jacksonville. He almost lost to Cincinnati, and then you're gonna play against a team like Philadelphia, which is better than Cincinnati and Jacksonville by not a landslide, but they're a lot better than those teams on both sides of the ball, And Philadelphia looks like they just had a cakewalk throughout the whole season, One of my friends said Jalen Hurts is a pedestrian, man. He just getting a walkthrough to the
playoffs.
That's what we're just talking about. We're just talking about this.
But I feel like they have so many threats. The pass rush in Philadelphia, their offensive line is great. Their running backs are great. Their wide receivers and their quarterback he's having a season. He's having a hell of a season. And I don't want to discredit Mahomes and Kels. That's like Shaq and Kobe at the NFL right now. But how far can and I'm a big Juju Smith fan. When Juju Smith left, I was telling Humphrey, I was telling him, you've seen what Juju did with Big Ben. Imagine what he's gonna have with Mahomes. We seen glimpses of Juju playing nice this year, but I feel like they're not a Devontae Smith, they're not an AJ Brown. They don't have as depth as putting Gainwell in the backfield and running. I mean, they do have McKinnon. But it's just the way Philadelphia does it is different,
And then don't forget my guy.
I know what you mean. They're a well-oiled machine. Like Philadelphia, just on all levels defensively. I mean, they were third all-time in sacks in one season, defensively. So I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about that point. I know a lot of people are raving about the quarterback matchup with Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Like, Patrick Mahomes' levels on Jalen Hurts, and everybody's aware of that. But like on the other side of the ball, you have one of the best defenses in the NFL. I feel like partially I'm getting kind of PTSD from 2020 when the Bucs played against the Chiefs. I'm getting some exact same feeling from that, because you're going up against an elite pass rush with Patrick Mahomes, whose ankle status we don't know about, if he's fully good. With an offensive line that has played good at times, but it's been up and down with them. You're going up against an elite pass rush, and I feel like a lot of people aren't taking that into factor. Just like how good the Eagles are on each level. Like there's a reason why they've had a pedestrian walk. Why Jalen Hurts has just been casual about this entire last 3 weeks, and they've still won games because he doesn't need to. This team is just that good. So I definitely see where you're coming from, man. These guys, they have a lot of depth. They have a lot of players, man.
I'm a big fan of Philadelphia's defense. I'm a big fan of Darius Slay. I've been following him for a while from Detroit all the way to here. He's one of those ones, man. Slay like Santa.
Yeah.
I like
James Bradbury. You had Hassan
beat
Reddick. A lot of guys, man.
Bradbury gets beat time to time.
Don't forget CJ Gardner-Johnson, man. They took him off the same.
Gardner-Johnson,
and that guy turned up for them right when he came too.
Yeah,
of course. Hassan Reddick is the head of that defense.
Don't forget Fletcher Cox.
Right.
No, Fletcher Cox is the head of that defense.
You see what I mean? There's a lot of stars on this defense, man.
They got a captain in Fletcher Cox right there, man.
So you rock with Philadelphia in this.
Yeah, and there's a fun fact too. I was in Arizona like 2017 winter, right? And I was at a gas station, or I think it was like a plaza, and we ran into Hassan Reddick, and I think that's when he was playing for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And now he's playing in Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, back in Arizona. Everything goes.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Everything comes full circle, man.
Yeah. So I got Philadelphia. They had a lot of injuries. They that's what people are overlooking too. Philadelphia came across a lot of injuries this year, and they played it smart. Nick Sirianni's just so cool, calm, collective, and I just feel like take the Super Bowl win, man. Finish with a perfect season, man. This season almost seems perfect for Philadelphia.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like they haven't run into any obstacles. At like no point did it feel like the Eagles like just ran into some sort of issues. Like, yeah, they had the little scare with Jalen Hurts' injury, but like, what have the Eagles really ran into that's like crazy? They didn't have a hard schedule at all. They had one of the easier schedules in the NFL. They have a well-oiled team, elite offensive line, great, running situation. They have great wide receivers. Their defense is great. Like, what issues do this team have? Like, it's just like they're gonna walk the entire season basically.
Hey,
So
all beautiful seasons come to an end.
can Patrick Mahomes put them away? Is a question
They're
mark.
about to see Superman.
We'll see, man. Y'all seen the last Super Bowl Philadelphia won. It was tight. They pulled out some tricks. Don't underestimate Philadelphia. They may have some more Philly specials coming, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's have a good Super Bowl, man. It's gonna be a fun one.
Sir.
Wait, hold on. One question. What's y'all take, so?
Nah, that's gonna come out later on. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and give our predictions in our next episode. We just wanted to hear your prediction, see where your head was at, and which side you were swaying towards. But any final words though before we have you sign off here?
I just want y'all to keep doing what y'all doing, man. I listen to y'all a lot. I'm probably one of y'all number one fans, one of y'all number one supporters. I'm very grateful to be part of the New Media podcast. I feel like I'm part of you guys with me being in the intro, with the intro song. And I just want y'all to keep doing what y'all doing, man. I'm going to see y'all on ESPN soon, hopefully.
Appreciate it, my guy.
I appreciate the love and support, man. But there is one thing I do got to tell you, man. I appreciate you guys for giving us Brian Flores. That's somebody that I wanted as my defensive coordinator. So
Brian Flores is a great guy. Not all the Minnesota got to do is pick up some pieces and help Brian Flores too. Y'all got it. Y'all got the offense. Believe in Kirk and Jay Jettis, man.
That's the plan, man. But of course, we really appreciate your love and support, man. Of course, you being in the intro. Of course, we'll all be looking forward to your next album, next hits. And we'll be changing the intro as you keep dropping these hits, man.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're gonna keep doing here.
Yeah.
We're gonna grow together. We're gonna glow together, man. Thank you, New Media.
Appreciate my
man.
guy.
Talk soon, but
yes, sir.
Sir. Oh man, we've had 4 different teams so far, man. 4 different teams. It's crazy.
The new guy coming on, man. We haven't seen him either, but he's a big 49er fan, so there he is immediately. right on
cue.
Right on point, man. There he goes.
What's going on, man?
Man, I was just saying, man, one of the biggest 49er fans, my big brother Ebro, Ibrahim's in the house, man.
I'm not the biggest 49er fan.
He's pretty big, man.
I live down the street from him. You know what I mean?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I can only see one of y'all at a time. Why is that?
I mean, you're on your iPhone, right?
Yeah, my laptop don't got good quality, so you know what I mean. I gotta do what I gotta do.
That's all good. We see
you good.
It's all good, man. As long as the fans see us.
Nah, man. I mean, we finally back. Been a long, since our last episode of football. It's good to this is going, but introduce yourself to the crowd and tell them what's up and everything.
Hey, crowd, man. You know what I mean. First name, last name the same, man. Ibrahim, man. 6'4". Just a normal dude, man. Man. Trying to get by.
They're trying to know what's your team. What's your team?
Like that,
tell me your team. So you're a Niners fan, right?
Brothers, I'm a Niner fan and I'm a Laker fan. You know what I mean? Those are the 2 teams I support.
Lakers.
I support the Sharks. You know what I mean? And local, man. I support, man. San Jose Earthquakes, Sharks, SaberCats. If y'all know them, shout out SaberCats, man.
Hey, you a big hometown guy, man. I can tell.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. We gotta hear your thoughts about the entire season of the Niners. Going from quarterback to quarterback. This has pretty much been a roller coaster of a season, but with so much success. So talk to me about that.
Okay. Let me tell you something, man. I didn't really believe in Trey Lance. Okay, tell you that right now. I didn't believe in Trey Lance. I was scared. I was scared of Trey Lance. You know what I mean? White boy came in there, started doing his thing. I'm like, whoa.
We talk about Purdy.
Purdy, man.
That boy's a baller, man. I'm telling you right now, man. I talked to a NFL linebacker, man, from the Niners, man. You probably know him, man. It starts with the Al. You know what I mean? He told me he knew right away that dude was a baller. I'm telling you right now. So that dude's a baller. And then so we get to the playoffs. I have high hopes. The only team I'm scared of, lightweight, was Philly. Right? Lightweight, I was scared of them. But then our defense was playing crazy good. I'm like, hey, we got this. Purdy goes down.
That's it.
We didn't even have a shot. You know what I mean? We didn't even have a shot. The dude that was playing QB, I'm better than him. I'm telling you right now, the dude that was playing
But
QB.
the guy was playing Candy Crush on his phone before they told him get in the
Hey,
game.
they said this year, they said this whole season he only had 2 snaps at quarterback.
That brother's 36. I don't know who he is, man. He's 36.
That's where like I feel for the Niners fans because it's like you didn't even have a chance, like
No,
if you guys had lost with Brock Purdy, that's like okay, yeah, we lost, they beat us and everything. That's why I kind of feel like this because if you guys have been seeing like recently, Niners fans or like Niners players are taking some shots at Jalen Hurts. You guys seen Debo and Ayuk and Robbie Gold, all those guys. Those guys they're taking shots at Jalen Hurts. Robbie Gold is saying if you try for the keys for the Chiefs is if you make Jalen Hurts play quarterback, you'll win. And that's a shot. That's a shot. You had
three possessions in a row. You stopped them. You know what I'm saying? Our defense was playing amazing. We had him. First half, we had Jalen Hurts. But he's a baller. He's a baller. Towards the end, he did his thing. But first half, we had them, man. I'm telling you right now, man. Hats off to Eagles. Still that thing, out there in the chips, all good. Next year, back at it. I'm telling you, next year we're right there in the.
Let me ask you this question here. The way your playoff run ended with all your quarterbacks being hurt, going into next season, what do you do? Come in with Purdy or you give Trey Lance another chance? We know Jimmy G's already out the door.
Let me tell you right now. Either way, we good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was telling you.
Do you feel like it's a Shanahan thing? It's a Shanahan thing then.
It doesn't matter. Either way, we're gonna ball. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, that's the Shanahan system. He puts any one of us here in quarterback. Yeah, someone's gonna produce. But like,
yeah, bro, we got all Madden players under every skill position. Good. We ain't gotta worry about nothing. You know what I mean? Just give someone decent under center. We good. Someone decent.
That's the thing where like, but at the same time, this is about to be what? Kyle Shanahan's fifth year now, right? I'm going. Listen to where I'm going with this, man. Like, I feel like this guy's cursed when it comes to the playoffs, man. Okay, like he engineers the perfect teams and everything. Like, I just feel like that quarterback position. I understand like Kyle Shanahan's system can like boost any quarterback that you put in there. That's a fact. You put a quarterback in Kyle Shanahan's system, they're gonna have some sort of production. But I feel like that quarterback position is literally the reason why you guys cannot win a Super Bowl. That's what literally I feel like that's the thing that's stopping you guys.
Oh, I don't think so. Come on, brother. You can't say that.
I really truly believe that. Like, how often are you gonna have like an elite defense to that level? Like an elite defense to that level, right? With that many pass catchers. And yet you're still not able to just get as far as you want to. Like I feel like at some point, like
Jimmy G,
quarterback.
On the center who'd won.
I don't know.
But guess what? Let me tell you something about Jimmy G. Forget all that. They told him suit up. Guess what he said? He said, nah.
The guy was smiling on the bench.
No.
At the same time, though, Trey Lance was right next to him, smiling as well.
No, forget Trey. They asked Jimmy G, do you want to play? He said, nope.
Oh yeah, they did ask him that. Why did he not suit up though, man? I feel like I don't know. That's some hater stuff.
Because you gotta think about it this way. He's coming off an injury, right? And his contract for next year is still up in the air. He's not. The Niners know he knows that the Niners aren't going to bring him back. So what's the point of getting thrown into the fire in an NFC Championship game where you're basically going out in 1 week of preparation, where you only have like 1 week to practice and get ready.
You got to start.
I feel like that's
the Super Bowl, but he's going into the game with no rhythm. He doesn't necessarily have a rhythm going.
I feel like that's setting yourself up for failure. Honestly,
I'm with it, man. I got a shot at Super Bowl. I'm playing, man. No cap.
Let me tell you something, man. How about Nick Bosa, brothers? How about Nick Bosa?
Hey, he got put away though. Nick Bosa got put away. Lane Johnson, man. We have to clap it up for Lane Johnson.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Come on.
Lane Johnson, we got to clap it. But Nick Bosa, I mean, I feel like you guys have a situation next season. You guys have a lot going on, man. Free agency, you guys. I mean, the Kyle Shanahan system. I think it's only a year away from dismantling. I don't know what y'all think, but I feel like it's 1 year away from.
If y'all fail next year, it's goodbye. Kyle Shanahan gotta go.
What? For what?
You guys go all the way to the NFC Championship game again. No. If you make it to the NFC Championship game and fall down and fail. What's the point of having this coach? He keeps on going, but he cannot.
How many coaches take the teams that far, though? Yeah, how many coaches? Like 4 or 5.
4 or 5, but has he won anything, though? Bill Belichick has won. Bill Belichick has won. That's the other coach. Pete Carroll has won. They have won. These guys go there and win a Super Bowl at least once or twice.
That was the 2000s and 20s, right? In the 20s, right? Who else?
He hasn't won anything.
The past 5 years, Andy Reid and him, only 2 coaches taking that team that far.
Bro, he went to 1 Super Bowl.
So
What is that? 3 NFC championships?
Three
Okay, we
NFC
can bring up Mike
championship
McCarthy.
games.
Mike McCarthy's been
Super
there like
Bowl.
5 NFC championships. We can bring him up. We know he's a
Roger
trash talk.
tax.
who?
Mike
Aaron
McCarthy,
Rodgers tax.
Packers.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers tax, to be honest.
Had Aaron Rodgers though, bro. Yeah, hey, relax with that, man. Had Aaron Rodgers.
I'm just saying, bro.
So
man,
let's.
we had Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Super Bowl.
See, that's
I mean,
where that's where him and Kyle Shanahan should have paired up,
Yeah,
man.
no, time out. Y'all had the opportunity to trade for him, yes or no?
They had it, and then they drafted Trey Lance, man.
Yeah,
That's the
y'all
mistake
drafted
that
Trey
they made.
Lance, right?
That's the mistake that they made.
Third
If they
pick
didn't
on the
draft,
table for Aaron Rodgers, y'all drafted
Bro,
Trey Lance.
Let me tell you something about Shanahan. He don't draft well. I'll tell you right now. I admit that boy don't draft well. But guess what, man? We pick up what? We traded a couple draft picks, right? To get a running back that we traded the next year. But guess what? Eli Mitchell, man. Eli Mitchell. So we good, man. We might not hit with every draft pick, but we go hit in the end of the round. You know what I mean? End of the round, the draft. So we good. We good with that, man. I'm telling you, man.
So talk to me about your guys' off-season plans. What are some things you guys need to do in order
lot.
to ensure a Super Bowl run?
Always gonna tell you something. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. Right? We don't really make
that's
that.
fair.
Say right now, we don't really make that many moves. But that DB we got from the Chiefs did amazing for us this year. Tell you something.
Was it
Couple
Travers?
players gonna leave because we can't really afford everybody, right? Couple players gonna leave,
Yeah.
but our defense is still gonna be sound.
That's the thing that pisses
Our
me off.
rush is amazing.
That's the
Hey,
thing that
man,
pisses
listen,
me off, bro. They
lose.
somehow just like have an elite defense every single year.
And the funny part is, right? Every year they lose a defensive coordinator. Every year.
We got one in the line. We got one.
Saleh. They be losing coaches, and that defense still be a top 3 defense.
We got another defensive coach, man. The dude from what's it called? South Carolina, man. I heard good things about him, man. So
South
hey,
Carolina.
man.
College?
South
Carolina Panthers.
Panthers.
Wilkes, I believe.
Yeah, something
okay.
like that.
Yeah, the interim head coach for the Panthers. You guys signed him to that spot for the defensive coordinator.
They were playing
And
nice.
he didn't have the Panthers defense. The Panthers defense was some nice. They was
Ooh, that's scary. They're scary. Now he got some pieces to play with. Oh, our linebackers. Oh my gosh, man. Oh,
okay. Let's pivot out the way. Big game Sunday, you know. Super Bowl Sunday. We got the Chiefs and we got the Eagles, man. We need your pick. Live and direct right here.
No, okay. You can't go home with Eric Jordan and Mahomes, man. I'm saying right now, you can't go wrong with Eric Jordan and Mahomes, man. I just feel like he's going to ball. No matter what's going to happen, he's going to ball. Hurts, they stopped him. If you notice, we stopped them. You know what I mean? First half, we stopped them. So if
but you guys are elite defense though. That's the thing. Like you guys did a crazy. Like it's crazy. A lot of people were like bringing up the box score. You saying like the Eagles won 31, but like anybody who had eyes and was watching that game knew the Niners defense did phenomenal in that game. They were ridiculous. I don't know if the Chiefs are able to limit Jalen Hurts like that though.
Their defense was pretty solid against the Bengals, though.
It was solid, but you're going up against an elite offensive line, though. Elite offensive line, man.
Air Jordan, though, you can't go wrong with that. I'm telling you, man. Now, on paper, it might look like the Eagles are a better team. They're more well-rounded. You know what I mean? Their front seven is better. Their defense is scary. You know what I mean? Right behind ours, but it just Hurts hasn't been there. You know what I mean? Hurts hasn't been there.
You're like that. It's crazy. You're like the third person to say that so far. You're the third person to come on here and say that and be like, Jalen Hurts has been kind of pedestrian. He's been kind of he's been all right. You're like the third person. That was crazy.
No. And he's hurt. He's hurt.
The shoulder injury.
Jordan hurt, but we know who Air Jordan is, though. You know what I mean? One leg, throwing it. Nice. I just can't. You can't bet against him. I'm telling you right now, you cannot bet against Mahomes, bro.
So you're going with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Yep, I'm going with Mahomes. Not even with the Chiefs. I'm going with Mahomes. I was a doubter at first. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was a doubter at first. I thought he was.
It's hard to go against him. It's hard.
It is. But the Eagles, man, they're a scary team, man. I think right now they're the most well-rounded team in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying, though.
You know what I mean? They got some nice DBs. They got everything, but
they just don't have Mahomes.
They just don't have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Miles Sanders ain't that nice, and Hurts is hurt, so it's.
How you gonna disrespect Miles Sanders after a 1,200-yard season, bounce back season?
He lightweight got shut down though, but again, that was against us, so it was. But they got what's that dude named Maxwell? Guy is nice. So they got three nice running backs out there, but it's that play.
They do got
running
a little roster going on. They do got a little running roster going on.
They're deep, man.
He's the best. You know what I'm saying? Coach in the NFL, man. I really think so. I think he's the best.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be ready. Give that
That's
dude 2
fair.
weeks. Oh, it's bad. Say right now. Who you guys going for?
You'll
Ooh,
find
We
out.
saving that. We saving that for our prediction video next episode. We saving it.
Yeah, you gonna hear who we rocking with in our next episode for sure, man. But
Hey, y'all heading out to Phoenix, man? Come on, man. Tell me you got a camera crew going out there, man. Come on.
Man.
you never know, man. We an unbelievable group.
Hopefully for the NBA Finals, we make that move, man.
Hey, man, go hire a female named Marissa, man. Tell her, you know what I mean? Fly her out there, man. Interview some people, man. Come on, man.
Gotcha.
But
Yes,
talk
sir.
to me,
We gonna
man.
get a crew going on.
Any final words though before we have you sign off here?
Nah, man. I just want to congratulate y'all, man. Y'all doing y'all thing, man. Keep the, you know what I mean? Keep the hustle up, man. This is just a grind, man. Y'all gotta keep doing what y'all doing, man. Yeah, man. If y'all need me again, you know what I mean? All y'all niggas got my. Yeah.
we definitely gonna hit you up. We definitely gonna hit you up.
We know where to find you, man.
Hey, man, I'm about to go to Cancun soon, man. You know what I mean? Me and the Niners, man. So, what's up, man?
Send me an invite, man. I gotta come through. Y'all cook this.
All right, brother.
All right, then, man.
Oh,
It was good talking with you.
Peace.
Ooh,
Man.
Back to the NFC.
That's a character right there.
Yeah, that's one funny guy, man. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up with one more special guest. A guy that's very, very familiar. No more new faces. A guy that came on here to talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
End this episode off with a familiar face and probably the most hated team in America.
It's only right, man.
It's not even a probably. It is the most hated
It's not
team.
even a probably.
What's going on, Mod?
What's up, fellas? New media. How y'all doing, man?
How you doing, bud?
We doing great, man. Just glad we can bring you back on. Have you talk about the Dallas Cowboys and their season.
Yeah, man. Where should we start?
Recap the season.
Yeah.
We don't wait till we get to the playoffs. We're gonna ignore the playoffs. We're gonna start as a season recap. Okay, I want you to tell me about the Cowboys.
Let's go through the first 6 games.
Okay.
With I forgot the backup quarterback.
Cooper Rush.
Yeah, go through the first 6 games with Cooper Rush.
Okay.
2 interceptions first game, right? Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 2 interceptions that first game, right? Or he got hurt early.
He got hurt. I don't know if it was 2, but guaranteed 1. Yeah. I don't know if it's 2.
Okay, I'm gonna give him 1. Okay, now Cooper Rush came in. Let's continue.
Okay, so look, so our expectations, right? Beginning of the season, training camp, and all that, right? It wasn't too, I would say, wasn't too high, right? We didn't have a lot of, weapons. We didn't know what we were gonna do on offense, but defense, I was locked in, man. I was like, you know what, we good, right? I said, I don't know if we're gonna win that division, but top 2, right? Definitely got top 2. Week 1 came, got our butts whooped, right? Buccaneers whooped our butts, right? Can't hate, right? Dak played terrible, right? Can't call it. Week 2 comes, right? Everyone, including myself. Oh man, Cowboy season's over. I was depressed, right? You know what I'm saying? I waited a whole, 6 months
off season.
Whole off season just to witness, just bullshit again, right? So use my language, but I was just like, hey, here it comes, right?
Yeah.
But nah, man, Cooper Rush, bro. That dog was balling. I wouldn't say he's balling now, but he did.
But he steadied the ship. He steadied the ship.
He did his thing.
Like up until Dak got injured, like he steadied the ship.
He did his job, right? He exceeded expectations for sure, right?
Definitely.
For sure. Defense exceeded expectations. You know what I'm saying? For you, Abdi, talk about
regression, No, it's all good though. It's all good though. I won at the end.
Yeah, right.
Regression.
Yeah, regression, right?
But he's up until Dak came back. He steadied the ship. We know that.
And then, everything was going well. You know what I'm saying? I thought our team was doing good. I thought, before the trade deadline, I thought we could have went out there and traded for another, playmaker on offense, someone like a DJ Moore. You know what I'm saying? But hey, this offseason, we could work something out. We could figure something out. Everything was going well. And then Dak comes back, and then I don't know, man. You have 14 interceptions ever since he came back. I would say half of them weren't really on him. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, half of them. Look at the tape, bro. Half of them were not on him. It hit the receiver's hands, and it is what it is. But hey, it happens. 14 interceptions. You can't erase that. came the playoffs, whooped the Bucks, right? Wasn't hard. And then the dreadful Niners game, divisional game. Man, that game, man, I was pumped. I was ready.
So before we even get there, like, what were you feeling when you beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? What were your like thoughts? Would you think like, yo, like, was this confirmation like, yo, we might actually go to the Super Bowl? Like, what were you thinking after that game?
I wouldn't say
Because like you just beat down Tom Brady. Like you
Yeah.
beat down Tom Brady. So like
Yeah.
naturally, like I would think you were probably thinking like, yo, like, you know, we could
Yeah.
actually do something.
Yeah, you probably thought the dopamine was rushing to go.
Yeah.
No, no, trust me. No, so realistically, I'm gonna be honest. Well, I like deep down inside after we beat the Bucks, I felt really good. I was like, you know what? We could really go to war with the Niners. I said, if we beat the Niners, yeah, Super Bowl it is, right? We could definitely beat the Eagles. I mean, I know we're better than the Eagles. I truly believe we're better than the Eagles when we're all healthy. And then we played the Niners, man. We did a great job. I believe we did a great job. Unfortunately, Tony Pollard got hurt. We had no weapons other than CD, man. Michael Gallup, he was nowhere to be found. Noah Brown is terrible. We all know that. T.Y. Hilton is 35, bro. He can't do much, right? So I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Dak played pretty bad too. He should have had more than 2 interceptions. I mean, it is what it is. He got lucky, but I mean, Dak played bad, but Tony Pollard getting hurt was huge. Ezekiel Elliott, I was blind to it at the beginning of the season, as you know it, but man, he is trash. Horrible, right? So he couldn't do much for us. And I mean, it is what it is, man. We unfortunately had no weapons against the Niners, and that defense is legit. But hey, man, next year, man, if we get a guy like Stephon Diggs or Michael Thomas or DJ Moore, man, I'm excited for what this team could cook up. Honestly,
it's a lot of big names you're throwing around there, man.
Hey, just one. I just need one. Mike Evans. I just need one. Keenan Allen. I just need one of those guys, man.
Hey,
That's
man,
it.
I feel like the bigger problem is that guy, under center, number 4. How you miss 5 games? How you miss 5 games in the season, right? And you still lead the league in interceptions. And then you come into the playoffs. I give him the Tampa game, but now you're coming up against another real defense in the Niners team, right? Those mistakes, I feel like that game was close. Like that game was close going into the third quarter. Y'all had an opportunity to win it.
Like I think their defense did a good enough job in like keeping them out the red zone. Like
Absolutely.
I think they didn't. I don't think people are giving enough credit to the Cowboys defense for how they played against the Niners. They kept them out of the end zone. It wasn't until that Christian McCaffrey touchdown where he busted. We got there. Yeah, that's where it kind of shifted the tide. But overall, it was like, kind of close.
Close too. We didn't. Yeah, and as well, like even like you said, our credit to our defense. Defense did great and all that, but our offense, man, if we just took advantage of those red zone, at least one red zone opportunity, man, other
Things
than
could have changed.
Dalton Schultz touchdown, man, things would have shifted, man. And I don't know, but and Brad Maher, at least what I'm saying, maybe one.
Yeah, that guy got to get cut ASAP.
Hey, he's gone. Yeah, Jerry Jones even said, hey, he's no longer a Cowboy. Yeah, for sure. Brad Maher, yeah, he's four missed kicks, bro, in the wild card game.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy to me, man. But there's a lot to go on your plate for offseason coming in, man. There's a lot of questions. Zeke, he got a fat contract on board. Tony, not restricted free agent, but he's a free agent this year, right?
Yeah, but they're gonna.
You guys can franchise tag him, but at the same time, Zeke's right there still with him. That's a fat contract.
And
I
think
that extra receiver options. It's a lot, especially if you want a guy like Diggs, big money type guys. Cap space is not enough for y'all. It's gonna be tough.
The thing is too, I feel like they're gonna let Dalton Schultz walk. I think they should let him walk. And I think Trevon Diggs needs a pay raise too. So I don't know what the offseason is gonna hold for us, honestly. But I think they need to prioritize, extending Diggs. I think they need to prioritize, keeping Pollard. I don't care. Well, I really don't care what the hell we do with Zeke. As long as he's not a Cowboy, man, or what I'm saying, he's getting paid like $1 million a year or something. Hey, I'll keep him, right? But I hope Zeke's gone. You know what I'm saying? I hope Jerry Jones can do some magic, man, and trade for a guy like Stephon Diggs. Meanwhile, offloading Zeke's contract with that, with some draft picks. Who knows, man? Jerry can do something. If he really wants to make it happen, Jerry can do it. You know what I mean? But we just got to see, what I'm saying? I'm glad Kellen Moore's gone. I want to see what Mike McCarthy can do for Dak and that offense with the play calling, what I'm saying? So And we got Dan Quinn back. Let's talk about that. That's big as well. That's huge. I thought Dan Quinn was gonna be gone, so getting our defensive coordinator back, I'm excited for the
I mean, how
Cowboys.
do you feel about losing Kellen Moore? I mean, you guys had a top 5 offense for 2 seasons now under Kellen Moore.
Happy.
So
I'm
really,
excited, dude. What do you
why
mean?
is that?
Yeah, why are you excited for
Bro,
that?
I mean, like
Kellen-
the Cowboys had a top 5 offense 2 straight seasons under Kellen Moore.
Listen, Kellen Moore, he calls the same bullshit in the playoffs when that shit doesn't work. Okay, regular season, it gets you so far, right? It gets you to a point, right? But even in the regular season, when we play like elite teams, bro, like it shows like, hey, like our offense can only do so much with these horrible college-like play calls. You know what I'm saying? Like these screen plays every third down. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's terrible. It's not gonna work. I think Kellen Moore might do pretty good with Justin Herbert because Herbert's young. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of time to develop, and they love to throw the ball over there and the Chargers. So I think Kellen Moore's gonna do pretty good with alongside Justin Herbert. But yeah, get Kellen out of Dallas. Kellen should have been gone alongside Jason Garrett, man. I swear. So Jerry Jones just a nice guy, as Jerry Jones just loves these people and gives these people plenty of opportunities when they shouldn't. But it is what it is, man. So
I think Dan Quinn, man, very, very, very smart guy. He knows, Mike McCarthy's leash is very, very short. And if you guys have another losing season or a season where you guys make the playoffs and don't perform well, McCarthy's going to be gone, and the next guy up will be Dan Quinn. So, for him to stick around one more year as your guys' defensive coordinator, knowing you guys have talent on that side of the ball, I'm sure he's going to be your guys' head coach real soon if you guys just keep playing with the way you guys are playing. But Dak Prescott, though, you have like a 7-year sample size now. And you talked about his performance not being good in that playoff game.
yeah.
So are you in or are you out on him? With that fat contract that he got last year, he got paid $70 million for the first year, and now it's like I think around 45, 40 million, something like that.
Yeah.
What are you saying as him being your guys' franchise quarterback moving forward? Or at some point, do you believe you guys have to move on from him and go in a different direction?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you my thoughts, man. On Dak. Extend Dak. You know what I'm saying? That's my QB1, man. Unless we get a guy like Lamar, Kyler, Josh, Patrick, you know what I'm saying? Joe Burrow, like these, Justin Fields, like these elite level guys. I'm sticking with Dak, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he had a bad season, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of these QBs that have bad seasons and it's probably gets swept under the rug, but Dak, you know what I'm saying? He is the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, so he has all this attention on him. And you know what I'm saying? All those years that he went to the playoffs, I mean, you got to think about it like this. Other than this year, last year did pretty good, and the other years that he went, bro, he did his job. Defense sold him. We didn't have a defense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking down Dak. I love Dak. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. He won the Walter Payton Award, whatever it is today. You know what I'm saying? The Man of the Year Award, whatever it is. So that's my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? As long as we got the weapons, if we get weapons this year in the offseason.
I feel like that's kind of bailing out Dak because there's been these last 2 seasons have been winnable games. Like we're not gonna
Look
sit
at Aaron
here.
Rodgers though. But wait. Look at Aaron Rodgers with his offense. If he doesn't have weapons, bro, you can't do nothing. You can
No,
only do
like
so
Aaron
much.
Rodgers does not have CeeDee Lamb, bro. Like it doesn't.
Aaron Rodgers has a lot of nice.
And Aaron Rodgers, regardless, he has a Super
receivers,
Bowl.
bro.
Like
And
Aaron
he has Aaron Jones and AJ
Aaron
Dillon.
Rodgers has a Super Bowl. It doesn't even matter.
I
Like
don't know when you hear this guy Dak not having targets, bro. This guy been in the league for 8 years, and every year he had a fantastic team. To say that he does not have targets is a big excuse.
But look, bro, look at the
He has a number
other than
one
CeeDee Lamb and Tony
that's a
Pollard.
lot more. That's a lot more than a lot of quarterbacks in the league.
Like who?
A lot more. A lot more than Aaron Rodgers.
But I think Mohad makes a very valid point though. At some point, the way the league is shifting towards, even if you have a wide receiver 1, you do need a complementary wide receiver 2,
wide receiver 3.
Which is why the Dallas Cowboys were in the sweepstakes for Odell Beckham Jr. and they were the front runners to land him. But unfortunately, whether or not his knee was at 100%, they weren't able to get a deal done, which is why they pivoted to getting T.Y. Hilton, which, as we saw, wasn't enough. So Mohad does have a point. CeeDee Lamb, we all know CeeDee Lamb is great, but if he gets doubled up and you have Dalton Schultz as your tight end, he's reliable, but you don't necessarily have a wide receiver 2. You're not going to be as successful as an offense.
Are you saying that simply because the same thing happened to JJ?
No, but no, not necessarily. But I know what
I think that's what
I know what Mon's going through.
I think
we're
that
kind of in a similar position, you know. So I kind of feel for my guy. But you see it all across the league. I mean, you see with the Cincinnati.
That's kind of
Bengals.
excusing Dak for not winning these winnable games, though. Like,
no, I'm not going to sit here and excuse Dak. When Dak's been very, very poor, you know, and for the turnovers during the regular season, you know, those interceptions being so high, yes, some of them weren't his fault, but majority of them were his fault. And then when you're coming out of that game against Tampa Bay, where he had the game of his life, you know, you're supposed to play off that. You know, you're supposed to keep reel off that and continue that and into the next game. And the Dallas Cowboys defense gave him plenty of opportunities to, you know, for him to showcase his talents like he did against Tampa Bay and kind of really just take over the game and swing the momentum their way. And he just never really took advantage of that opportunity. I think that's what Dak Prescott has a problem doing, really trying to take over the moment and pretty much trying to sway the momentum in their favor. He can't really do that. That's his problem. It's kind of like he's kind of like the guy that's cool front running, and you know, if he's up big, he's gonna play great. But when he's losing, you can't really count on him to really make it, you know, game winning drive from time to time like we do with these other quarterbacks.
Well, let's pivot right now. Super Bowl Sunday, man, big week over here. You know what I'm saying? Eagles Chiefs. What's your pick?
I'm going with the Chiefs all day, bro. Like, I do not want to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl, bro. Like,
yeah, we knew it.
Yeah, dude. If I see the Eagles win the Super Bowl this Sunday, bro, like my Sunday is gonna be fucking ruined. Like, this is gonna be terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that team is built off a 1 year run. You know what I'm saying? And literally, I cannot see them succeed off that 1 year run. You know,
it's gonna eat you, huh? Eagles
man. I can't see them win 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, right? No, not in my lifetime.
5 years
before you see one, right?
Yeah, before I see
you can't get to 2 before you see one.
I can't. My heart can't accept it. But you know what I mean. But I definitely feel like, you know, a healthy Mahomes is gonna just shatter that Eagles defense. I mean, that Eagles defense is fraudulent. Obviously, the only person on that I really respect in that defense is Hassan Reddick. I swear, I promise you. I would literally target Darius Slay and Bradbury. Other than Gardner, I'm telling you, bro, no one on that defense is sweet, bro. Sweet.
Okay, I mean, I think it was an obvious Super Bowl pick for you. We all knew you were going to go against.
Yeah, there's no way you would have picked with a rival. Yeah,
but I do want to talk about one specific thing though before I let you land. Micah Parsons, man, for him to come out and say, you know, Lane Johnson is one of my favorite players, and then
go win it for the division.
Go win it for the division, like, and you're sitting here saying, you know, you don't want to see the Eagles win. Where do you stand with that?
Nah, I think
loser mentality.
So there's 2 things, right? When he tweeted that, I think, you know what I'm saying, what he's talking about, that's a personal relationship between him and Lane Johnson, right? But when it comes to like that team, you know, winner for the division, winner for the conference, I don't know, dude. But at the end of the day, Michael Parsons, he's great, man. That's my linebacker. That's my best defensive player we've had since DeMarcus Ware. So
I just think
I'll give him a pass.
Soft mentality right there.
I feel like you should like despise people in your division. Like you should hate like Lane Johnson, any of these guys getting.
If I'm playing,
you should hope the Eagles get blown up by 50. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a new age thing. I don't know.
I think it's a new age thing, and then plus, I think he's a hidden Eagles fan, man, because he is from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, or something.
So he grew up.
He could be a hidden fan. You know what I'm saying?
And if
he is, then his ass gotta go. I'm just kidding.
But I feel like he should be on the same type of timing that these Niner players are on, where Brandon Ayuk and and
absolutely
Robbie Gould are coming out saying, you know,
you got Robbie Gould coming out saying, put the ball in Jalen Hurts' head. Imagine him saying,
he's talking about like, yo, make Jalen Hurts a quarterback and Chiefs will win.
Make Jalen Hurts throw the ball. He's Robbie Gould, you know, a kicker. And then you got Michael Parsons. I wish my division wins. I need to
go win it for the division, you know, like as if he's gonna win like some sort of Super Bowl ring with that.
Yeah,
you know?
he's getting some, like he's a part of it or something. I don't understand, but it is what it is, man. I'm ready for next year. You know what I'm saying? We'll see on that field, and I can't wait to see what my boys can do, and hopefully we get another battle. Yeah.
I don't want to see you guys anymore, man. It hasn't been pleasant.
We gotta see the Seahawks. I don't think we
play y'all next year.
Recent memory.
We play y'all next year.
Oh, did they release the schedule?
They released the schedule. Yeah, the opponents.
Pretty much, yeah. The opponents have been released, but in terms of like which week you guys will play them, hasn't been released yet. But looks like you guys are matched up.
Might have to plan a trip. Go out there so I can see.
Oh yeah. We have to. Come on, we have to 100%. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I gotta check that out. I didn't know they released the schedule.
Go check the team schedule. Team website.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
I feel like the only memory I have from the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks is when Dak Prescott beat Russell Wilson in the playoffs that one year, where he was, I think it was like a 3rd and 14.
Oh yeah,
he ran it in. Yeah, he ran it in. He kind of just tumbled into the end zone. That's my only memory I have from those two teams matching up. I can't remember anything else.
Oh, hey, the only other memory was I think it was Bobby Wagner and Tony Romo given the opportunity for Dak to start the preseason. I know you remember that, Mud.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
When Romo ran out the pocket.
I was gonna bring up a terrible memory, man. Tony Romo fumbling the football in the NFC game, the playoff game, divisional game. Yeah, it was against y'all. Division or wild card?
I think the only time we played on the playoffs was
No, this is like back in like 06, dude, 07 when Romo was like, back in the day, dude.
Probably against Hasselbeck.
Literally the play that made Tony Romo like the meme.
I think it's a field goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, field goal one. Yeah.
This is back when he was holding kicks.
I think I kind of vividly remember that. I think
it had to be 06 when we went to was it 06 we went to the Super Bowl against the Steelers, or
this was like Matt Hasselbeck era, bro.
Yeah, it was Matt Hasselbeck. It had to be Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, 2006 NFC wild card.
Another Seattle Seahawks and Dallas Cowboys matchup. I think it was that one year that you guys the Des Bryant catch. I think you guys played him in the regular season.
Oh no, fun! Another big one.
2014.
Yeah, Des Bryant had a big game that game. I'm sure.
Terrence Williams had the catch too.
Terrence had a crazy catch against us. But another big moment was Earl Thomas flipping the birds off to what's his face? Pete Carroll on the Cowboys.
Oh, that was Cardinals though. That was Cardinals.
Was it the Cardinals game? No, that was against the Cowboys.
No.
That was in Arizona, my guy.
Yeah,
that was not against Arizona, bro.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't against. Yeah, it was against Arizona.
It was 100%. It was a Thursday night. I think it was a Thursday night game, and it was in Arizona.
Game. Yeah, it was there against
Arizona. That
Arizona.
was another moment, but we don't got that much moments against each other. I ain't gonna lie, not much.
The key moments though, we're winning in recent memory, man. So that's all that matters to me.
That's all that matters, man.
In 20 years, man. I ain't know what you're talking about.
You guys are gonna have to see each other. You guys are gonna have to see each other next year, man.
Oh, I'm gonna see Glory next year, man.
But any final words though, Mud, before you sign off here? You're our final guest of the night.
Oh man, final guest of the night. Final words, man. Hot take, if it's okay, man.
Come on, bro.
CeeDee Lamb is not that far from Jetta's, man. Next year, CeeDee Lamb and Jetta's top 3, top 2. You know what I'm saying? Watch out.
Yeah, you lost.
Oh. You lost the plot. You lost me there, brother. But
hey, CeeDee Lamb Hooper though, man.
I'm telling you, man, watch out for CeeDee, man. He's him.
You guys got a good one in CeeDee, man. I feel like he's one of those receivers that are going to slowly creep themselves up into that top 5 discussion. Kind of similar to what JJ did, but to a lesser degree, I would say. I don't think he's on that type of level yet where he makes that leap from borderline top 5 to being the best in the league. But, once again, man, of course, we appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with us. Familiar. It's always good to see a familiar face. A guy that's been around, so we appreciate you, man.
Of course, man. It's an honor to, of course, always be on the show and be a part of this episode as well. So thank you guys for having me again, and have a great night, guys.
Sir,
we'll go ahead and talk soon, Mud.
All right, fellas. Good night.
And with that being said, man, that wraps up our special guest list. I gotta say, man, what an episode, and we'll go ahead and keep this one very, very short. I believe we don't have any final words, but besides looking out for our next episode, we'll personally give our NFL Super Bowl predictions. And of course, we'll talk about the NFL awards that have been released tonight. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and sign off here. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. We really appreciate your love and support. We'd greatly appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Media Podcast. And for those of you that are watching, for those of you that are watching us on YouTube, if you go to all of our social media handles will be at the end of this video. And for those of you that are listening to us on Apple and Spotify, if you go to our Instagram page at New Media Podcast, you'll be able to navigate yourself to all of our social media handles there. So once again, we really appreciate you for tuning in. It's been a long night. We hope you enjoy this one. And of course, see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now H, now that's overkill.